Podcasting has more than one YouTube podcast show. Here we are, start the show. It's time to talk about some action figures. We are here to start talking stuff. I wish I was Cody Rhodes. This would have been more epic. I would have had some pyro behind me. Whoa! My mama said, keep collecting. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? I hope you all have a great time. Let me turn this light off. It's super bright. Welcome to another episode of the Infinity Equation on Friday night. Bart, your ears will be okay. You're my man. Don't you worry. You'll be all right. Your ears going to bleed for a little while. Can't stand you, Greg. Can't stand you and Bart. See, thought you were all my friends, but you ain't my friends anymore. But hope you all having a great week. Hope you had a great Friday as well. Man, oh man, what a week. What a night. Oh, what a night tonight will be. But I can't do the show without my favorite co-host and one of my other co-hosts, Mr. Tim Disavow. How you doing?
The world has more than one internet YouTube streaming podcast. Da-da-da! How to do it. What goes on, everybody? Happy Friday night. So excited to be here. Sorry I wasn't here last week. I was not feeling good, sleep deprived. I'd have been more worthless than usual over here. Wouldn't have gone down any rabbit holes or nothing. I just would have sat here looking like a zombie. So thank you, Dante, for the sick day. Happy to be back, fully charged battery, and very excited to rip into the toy world this week. Certain 2-pack went on pre-order that people probably know is pretty interested in. We'll talk about it. But more importantly, we have a friggin' amazing guest tonight that I am so honored and excited to speak with, Dante. It's going to be awesome.
Yes, indeed. Thank you. And talking about that, fresh off his stint with Judge Steve Harvey. It's like my mustache, they said it looked like a caterpillar, but you know, it's not really a caterpillar sitting up there. If you watch Saturday Night Live, you know.
Of course, it's perfect. Yes.
Exactly. But fresh off his stint, Judge Steve Harvey. I wish Judge Wapner was still alive, because then I think it would have been a little bit more funny with Judge Wapner around. But here he is from GeekDadLife Dad. Jay, how you doing, sir?
Hello. Thank you for having me. Yeah, I in my own head canon, Kenan Thompson's Steve Harvey is the funniest Steve Harvey for sure.
Yes,
100%.
Yes, indeed. I keep doing like one do Bill Cosby.
But yeah, happy to be here. Thank you for the invite. Dante had you on the Toy Geeks stream.
Yes.
What, I don't even know, when was that? Like a year ago, 3 days ago? Time's a flat circle, but
It really is.
glad to be on your side of things. Happy to be.
I appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. Look, I can't remember what I did yesterday, so
Yeah.
This week has been like.
I remember something you did yesterday, Dante. Sorry.
Not yesterday. It technically was Wednesday. That was Wednesday. So yes. If you are wrestling fans, I hope some of you are. I know some of you are who watch. I got to meet Cody Rhodes. He showed up at my job. Yeah, I was excited. I was told by one of the guys I work with. He was like, "Hey, he's like, wrestlers coming in to do an interview." I was like, cool. I was like, what wrestler's coming in? He's like, Cody Rhodes. I was like, Cody Rhodes is coming in this building. He's coming here. He's coming here. He's geeking out. I'm not gonna lie. I was super nervous, but I was geeking out too at the same time. Awesome. But it was great to meet. He's such a nice guy. I got a picture with him. He was super awesome, like very nice.
That's cool.
I couldn't say anything really bad about the man because he was willing to take a picture. He's like, yeah. He's like, come on, man. Come on. I know he was hot, cool. That suit on all day.
He's just so aware of his own brand, and he's perfect at it. Like, I think more than anybody, maybe even in professional sports, to be honest. He knows what his brand is. He knows how to interact with fans and with people, and it just comes across whenever you see the guy cut an interview or anything on TV.
That's cool.
Yeah, thank you, Charlie. Yes, and I did tell him, Charlie. I did tell him, I was like, Cody, your documentary on Peacock was amazing. It was very well done, and I enjoyed it so much. And he's like, thanks. He's like, it was one of the hardest things I had to do because he's like, it's hard talking about yourself.
Yeah.
I was like, that
Yeah.
is very true.
Yep. For sure.
Oh man. But yeah, I wanted to do I want to say, hey Cody, can we do the whoa? Like,
You might have lost them there. I don't know. That might have been
he might let him with you. Look, I would, if I had enough time, I would do my Cody Rose impressions for him. Yeah, come on now. My wife be sitting here watch me every Monday night when that music hit. I'll be like, whoa. She's like, oh, Cody's on. I'm like, yeah, Cody's on. She was mad too. She was like, oh, so this is what we're doing I sent her a picture. I was like, oh, this is what we're doing at work? Just meeting wrestlers. I was like,
hey, sometimes it works out, Nothing wrong
exactly. She's like, she's more mad. She's like, I'm over here cleaning. You over here meeting wrestlers. That's my job.
Too great. That's too funny, man.
The IT guys got to do his stuff too.
I worked at an Apple store for a while, and the benefits of that is like if anybody was touring or whatever and their phone broke or something, they would come into the shop. So met Weird Al Yankovic, and he was like amazing. That was the only person. I don't really get starstruck or anything, but Weird Al Yankovic, I was just like, you are the thing. Introduced me to comedy at a young age. You're so important. So I was just like totally being nervous and stammering. He's like, oh, he was just very gracious. He was very kind, and I was very nerdy.
I would have been too. I'm like, yo, Weird Al.
Yeah.
Weird Al, Mr. Yankovic, I'm sorry.
And then Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle's the other one. He was very nice as well. Very, very nice. And gracious.
Yeah. He's another funny dude. funny
really
dude.
Down to earth too, like very chill, down to earth guy for sure.
Wow.
Nice. All right, Tim. Well, let's see who's in the chat hanging with us tonight.
Hi, everybody. What goes on? Thanks for being here tonight with us. You all already are subbed to GeekDadLife, but if you're not, go over to Jay's site, give him a click on the sub button. If you're new here and you haven't subbed to us or hit that like button, please do that. Help out the channel. Goes a long way. So we're very excited to have Jay here tonight to go through all his amazing opinions and experiences he's had over the last few weeks. It's been a roller coaster.
It actually has.
You've been the hardest working guy in toys for the last probably month, I think, sir.
Yeah. It feels like, I will say, like going into or because we drove from Raleigh to Columbus for PowerCon, and like that drive was just like, why am I doing this? I'm still not recovered from Comic-Con. Like I don't have the stamina. Like what am I thinking? But then like once the second we walked in there, just like all the toys, all of the it's like re-energized me. I was like, all right, let's go. Let's do this.
Just watching the video, I get like that. So I can imagine being there.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. It was a perfect counter to the madness that is San Diego Comic-Con. It's just a really good, like almost palate cleanser, if you will, to the Comic-Con side of things.
Well, good. That's amazing. Well, I'll tell you what, say hello everybody in the chat. Flash739's in the house. Happy Accident is here. Dom Mercucciano is in the house. What's going on, Dom? Damien's in the house. Who else do we have here tonight? Paul Morales. What's going on, Paul? Johnny Stratos is here. David R. Striden's here. White Mike Vegeta is here. Greg is here to cause some problems as always. What's going on, man? Pokey87 is here. Charlie Weaver is here. We additionally have Relatable Figs in the house. Bart is in the house as well. We mentioned Dom already. Darklaw, who I think I saw with laser pants on an Instagram post at Ollie's, I believe. Hope you enjoyed your Ollie's experience, guys. Gotta love Ollie's. GeekDadLife is here. And so on and so on. I think we got everybody. 1-6 shooter Trevor in the house. What's going on, Trevor? Good to see you here, man. Monsters from Beyond. What's going on, Monsters? Omega Weapon 13 is in the house. So many people here tonight. This is awesome. Lara V, what's going on? 25 Toys, what's up? And Mark Rose, how is everybody doing? We're having a great night here. Let's get to it, gentlemen.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming out and being with us. You could be anywhere else, but you're here, and I appreciate you. Amanda Sock, that's my buddy Brian.
Hello,
when
Brian.
I saw that, I thought it was the Soch, like in The Outsiders.
Hey, he could be the socialist because so his gamer tag is Social Security. And that was the first person that I really played, like I played Gears of War with. I was like, Social Security, really? I was like, this guy's got to be pretty cool with a name gamer tag like that. Like, yeah, I got, everybody's trying to collect Social Security. We're all trying to collect that Social Security.
One day.
What? Yeah, one day. I doubt if I ever will. Oh, and there's 4 feathers. 4 feathers. What's going on? Hey, thank you for this.
Oh, wow, look at that.
Super sticker. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, buddy. He says, "Bam, a little love for you. Thank you, buddy. Hope everything's going well for you too." He's a teacher.
Oh,
Teaches
nice.
stuff.
Love it.
Support teachers.
Exactly.
And support us too.
That doesn't hurt.
Hey, I mean, do you have a like goal? Can people hit like buttons right now? It's hit the like button, all that fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just want people to enjoy the good time. You can if you like what you see, hit the like button. If you like what you feel and see some other stuff, hit the subscribe button. I just put out a new review for the now I forget the name, the Universal Hibernation Pod that you have to build. And I'm just letting you know at a time. I did say this in the video too, in the review. If you like Gundams, you're going to enjoy building the Hibernation Pod. If you're not liking building stuff, you're not going to like it.
Yeah,
you're not going to want to do it.
I always I set off to I'm gonna be a model guy. This time I'm gonna stick to it. I'm gonna get good paint, and I'm really gonna do it. And then about 2 minutes in, I'm like, nah, this is awful. I can't do this. Let's quit.
Honestly, it took me the whole thing. It took me 2 hours to build the whole thing because I was sitting there watching Storage Wars the whole time. It's
nice.
I was like, oh, yeah, So I'm like, all right. So this got me through it. But yeah, it does take about 2 hours to build, because it comes with you building a little control panel,
mm-hmm.
and then you're building the whole cryotube itself. But it does have lights in it, and
nice.
when I say actually you're building it, you're actually putting the metal plates in there for the batteries.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you're actually wiring everything up.
Damn.
Dante, I can't remember from the review. It was a great review, by the way. What was the retail price on that? I actually didn't hear what it cost.
So on Big Bad Toy Store, I think it was $34.99, but they are sold out.
Yeah, I think I saw that in the chat.
Yeah, everybody. I don't know what happened it was thanks to Greg who pointed out to me. He was like, hey, check this out. I'm like, all right. So I was like, yeah, I'll check it out. I bought it. I was like, cool. I forgot all about it. I forgot I even bought it. I was like, all right, cool. I'll put it together, do a quick little review.
I have a hard enough time putting together Build-A-Figures, Dante, let alone building something like that. So,
yeah.
Well done, sir.
Yes.
Well, I'm used to it. I like building Gundams. I don't have
I'm good at Lego. That's about as good as I get.
Yeah, see, I like putting together Legos. I love putting together.
Even
IKEA furniture.
Oh yeah, IKEA furniture I don't mind.
Yeah.
But sticker sheets, those are my Achilles heel. I've been buying those new Turtles stuff, and there's a lot of stickers with those things, and it takes me back to when we were kids trying to put stickers on play sets and stuff, and I stunk at it then, and I stink at it now.
Yep, I definitely have 10 thumbs, so very difficult. Anytime it's putting little pieces together, or even the stickers is a great example.
Yeah.
I know my limitations, and I'm pretty much any type of customization or building I'm doing is taking a black Sharpie and just coloring something. That's about what I can do. You want a black action figure, get that Sharpie out like they do over at the Figure Booth podcast, nasty makes tricks.
But I respect it so much because I know there's a lot of pushback against the price of and we'll probably talk about the TMT Lair, and it's like, I can do it myself. And I'm like, well, I couldn't. But for those that can, I respect the hell out of it because I couldn't make anything that nice.
I agree with everybody. Jay, I agree with you because stickers are not my forte. I'm like, yeah, this is good, but this is where it starts happening when I try to put on stickers.
Right, exactly. Or you start off good and then it gets a little bubble in it or something.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. I love putting together easy. Stickering, that's where we have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But once we talk about that Turtles Lair, I was talking to AZ Toy Hunter about it as well today, and I have just my opinion and our thoughts on it. So we'll talk about that. But Jay, let's talk about the whole build-up. Judge Steve Harvey.
Sure, yeah. Yeah. Um like what? Like the before we even filmed it, or like what do you want to know?
Uh,
What can I tell you? What
how did this all come about?
Yeah, let's do the genesis of the idea first. I think would be
Yeah.
great, and we'll kind of work it through the
Yes.
system here, and let everybody know from beginning to end what the whole thing was, because it was definitely a journey for you guys. I can tell for sure.
Yeah, so it's a weird and winding road, but so I had a friend, or I have a friend, and she ended up becoming a casting agent for that show. And this was probably in spring of last year. She reached out and she said, "Hey, I'm a casting agent for the Judge Steve Harvey show. We're looking for," because there's this thing with those judge shows where they kind of have a circuit of people that do those shows. And so like somebody that shows up on Judge Judy will also be on the People's Court, or Judge Joe Brown, whatever. And the first season of the show, they were like, a lot of those cases or whatever are kind of boring, and they're not fun, or they're not as fun as they would like the Judge Steve Harvey show to be. Because I hate to break it to everybody, but all of those judge shows are fake. They're not real.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry. Also, Storage Wars isn't real.
Yes. Yes, definitely.
And I will add to that, and we just talked about it in the green room, Comic Book Men, if you recall that.
Yeah.
I actually shot an episode of that, everybody, which never aired, so don't go to AMC's app and look for it. I have the pictures to prove it. All fake. You talk about everything ahead of time. They know what the result's going to be, right? All that good stuff, Jack.
Yep. And so she's like, we're looking for, silly beefs or like nerdy beefs or whatever. And I know you're a nerd, so do you have anything that could like play well as like a case on this show? And she gave some examples of kind of fun things that they liked, that they would like something along these, not exact, but something along these lines, where I think one case was a daughter suing her mother for setting her up on bad dates, and just, kind of silly stuff like that. And so then I was like, I'll see what I can, if there's anything that comes to mind, or if I have friends or whatever. But concurrent to that, being friends with YHS for a while, and they're big into wrestling as well. And actually we kind of became friends out of the whole, the great debate between Spectre Creative and Retro Blasting that was on our channel. And so we did like a fake debate, and so we're trying to think of like fun ways just to have like a fake toy beach, just to kind of show how silly that kind of stuff is. So we kind of had talked about it. And then, talking to Craig, like, hey, there's this, this opportunity. Like, is there anything we could come up with that would be a fun, silly, stupid case? And you kind of in that conversation, it was like, well, we've all done toy deals. Like, what if there was some misunderstanding on the toy deal, and that led to, I don't know, you feeling super slighted or something like that. And so that's where we kind of came up with the whole, I'm selling him something mint with cards, but he thinks he's getting mint on card. And because he wasn't really paying attention, he thought he was getting that. And he thought he was going to be able to like flip them for thousands of dollars. And that was going to be his whole premise for suing me. And so I presented that to my casting agent friend, and she was like, perfect. And then it's like being cast on a real. You have to audition for the thing. So the whole premise that we had was this toy deal gone wrong, and Abby was there, his wife, and she was going to basically turn on Craig and back up my side of the story. So that was our story, and they loved it. So we did a mock trial where there was somebody else as the judge, and we did the whole thing, and they edited it together, and then the producers watched that episode and they liked it, and then we got cast on the show. and then they flew us out to Atlanta, Georgia, the same studio they film all the Marvel movies in. And so they put us up in a hotel, and they had a lot of strict COVID protocols. So like we had to stay in our hotel room. We had to get tested 2 days in a row before they would like cart us out to the studio. And basically they just shoot cases all day. 'Cause I think Steve, like a whole season, Steve does in like 2 weeks. And that studio that he does it in is the same one he does Family Feud in. So like they'll set up the whole, judges the whole, courtroom. And then once they're done filming, they tear it down. They set up the Family Feud film. It's a huge soundstage, like gigantic. So like Craig and I, we didn't see each other the whole time. Like we're in separate, like basically little rooms. And we sat in that room for like 3.5 hours just waiting. And then we go out, and the producers are there the whole time. They're just kind of like, all right, just so you know, this is one take. There's no retakes. Like this case is just going to be live. Whatever happens, happens. So there's no script, but they're very much like, what are your points? What's the key talking points? And then just let the case happen, essentially. And it was really nerve-wracking. It was really nervous. You probably hear it in my opening line because you kind of prepped. That's the only thing really prepped was like our opening statement or whatever. And then it just happens. And then like Harvey guides it. What you saw was 11 minutes. We shot for 45 minutes.
Oh, wow.
A whole case.
Really? Wow.
Like the Abby segment, it was like maybe 2 minutes. Like that was a good like 15 minutes. There are so many hilarious moments just from that were cut out. But they basically like just whittled it down to like the funniest moments, but there were some other really good moments. But yeah, and but we filmed that in September of last year, and it didn't get aired until this week. It was kind of crazy.
Wow. I didn't know it was filmed so long ago.
Yeah. And so we had this whole idea of doing so whenever we know that because it was supposed to air in January. So we're like, okay, so whenever we get the date, we're going to try and set up this whole like, okay, oh, this deal went bad, blah, 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 blah. But then it just kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. And to be honest, I completely forgot about it until like Craig was like, oh my God, it's airing this day. I was like, oh, okay, then we got to try and figure out this idea that we had. And it was in between Comic-Con and trying to get prepared for PowerCon. And it was definitely half baked. I think in retrospect, people probably find it funny now, but at the time, people took it some took it really real, and it hurt some people's feelings. And so I'm sad that happened for some, and I'm sorry for those that affected. But I think now people have seen the episode. Hopefully, you can see how fun and insane that whole thing was.
Wow. And we were talking earlier in the green room. So for everybody here in the audience, I was along for the ride from the live stream where they were going through the entire thing. I was watching Toy Anxiety that night, and I personally felt it was a bit, whatever, but most people, and the way that the Toy Anxiety crew
sold it.
Oh my God, they should literally be in acting because they sold it so hard. And I know I shared with you one of the funniest things that was said. He was like, well, I really don't know why Jay's doing this. And I mean, we were just at SDCC, and maybe he's really low on money. It's really
I mean, I am like all these cons, I'm broke, but yes.
Yeah, Craig killed that one.
Oh, Johnny Cock, good to see you, man.
My man Johnny from Canton. I was going to say from California.
Some California dollars.
Whole line from Anime Revolution. Okay, back to work for me, and I will catch you on the replay. Max Power to Dante Tim and Geek Dad J. Thank you. Hope you have fun. Thank you for the super chat. Oh man. So before we go on, man, there's a lot of comments. Woo. Let's see where to start at. Guess we'll just start here. Dom says, I'm Judge Mills Lane. I'm a Judge Mills Lane guy. Monsters from Beyond says, but surely House Hunters is real, right? He says Pawn Stars is mostly fake. Oh yeah,
Oh, that's super fake.
You-
Like it's a separate studio stage, right, or something?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Flash 739 says, I guess it was a while ago, so you look super thinner. Joking.
thanks, Flash. You jerk.
Grace's Monsters Beyond. Of course, a 3D printer and a stay-at-home dog whisperer will also have a $800,000 budget. Yeah, househunters like really like it, they be killing me with that because you can make up some stuff. Like I make crayons in my backyard, and my wife just
Uh-huh.
just
Our budget
plants
is
all day. But our budget's like $900,000.
yeah, exactly.
Like
Oh
what?
my god. They film a lot of those in Raleigh. Like
Mhm.
Love It or List It, and I think Love It or List is the big one they film a lot here. And yeah, that's fake as well. Like they already have decided beforehand, whether they're gonna keep the renovation or if there's another house, they've already bought the other house and they use the old one to kind of fill in. Anyways,
Machine Man says, good episode. Monsters from Beyond says, okay, thank goodness. Shiny Plastic People, how you doing? Says classic Craig behavior, honestly.
so there was a moment
Archie.
with the classic Craig behavior that didn't end up in the episode. I'll talk about it once you get through these.
Okay.
That was Art says, I'm here. What I missed? Start over. No, Art, I'm sorry. AZ Toy Hunters Guild says, I wish the beef dried out a little longer.
Whew.
Let's see. And then there we go. Flash says, I heard Steve Harvey is taking over John's spot on GTL. Stump to Steve. Don says, for some reason, I just assumed the whole thing was filmed the weekend of SDCC. Ski Ray says, at least Sandman from when Steve hosted Showtime at the Apollo did not appear to show up anytime, did he? Rest in power, Sandman. Oh, what the heck? Really, Ski Ray? He had to bring up the Sandman. Happy Accident says, that's awesome, rad experience. I waited 3.5 hours to be an audience member on Springer. Laugh out. Wow. Had to be on the Jerry. Ski says, cut that promo, GDL and YHS. And Power Turtle Busters figure reviews. Thank you. It says, what up, y'all? I knew the stage from the jump. I was like, going on here? What the hell's going on here? And then Power Turtle says, what up, Jay? Steve got jobs up the wazoo.
Good to see you, PTB.
What is Steve Harvey not doing? Like, really, honestly, what is he not doing?
He's kind of working nonstop. Good for him. Making the money. But
I mean, that's what I should start doing. I should become like a Steve Harvey and start like doing like 15 like YouTube shows.
Pretty much, it's like gets up as a radio show, and again, like that day, they start at like I don't know, early in the morning, and they were gonna go till like 10 o'clock at night. Just filming those cases.
Knock it out.
Yeah.
I watched a YouTube video a couple years ago on here's a deep dive for you. Legends of the Hidden Temple on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Love that show. And
Blue Barracuda's all the way. Blue Barracuda's all the way.
Oh man.
Olmec. A lot of those shows very similar. Carmen Sandiego, like they would just knock out like a whole season in a day, basically.
Yeah.
To get that stuff out of the way. Question for you, I forget to ask.
Yeah.
Did Steve Harvey know the script more or less of the show, or did they let him go in and like have natural reactions?
I think natural reactions, because really, because I don't think he knew the Abby turning on him. And actually, that was kind of a last minute thing, maybe because she tested positive for COVID. That's why she was over Zoom and not in the audience.
Wondering about that. Okay.
And so the original concept as we pitched it is she was going to be brought in as a witness, and she was going to sit with me on my side and be my witness. And so I think the producers made the right call when it was the Zoom thing to make her. I can't remember exactly when that happened. Craig might know more. Craig and I are going to do like a post stream tomorrow on one of my GDL2, but it shifted to where she was going to show up as his witness. And the thing they cut out of it was like, because he and I were talking back and forth about what happened, and he was like, "So you said that's what happened?" Because he was thinking he was going to get a gotcha moment on me, to bring in Abby to be like, well, I got somebody here that heard what happened. So that got cut out of it. And so the whole her saying I never heard mint on card really like threw him off. So I don't think he had any clue, because it really like there was so much, like he was like rolling. I mean, you saw even he got up, he was talking to her, like he was it really threw him off in a good way.
When he got up and walked over, I started cracking up. And I always have the subtitles on when I watch things.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, when I watched the episode, I might have paused it 25 times to take screenshots to send to my friends and family. Like they know what I am. They know what this is. So I was like, you got to see this. This is hilarious. Like you're going to connect to this immediately.
I know a lot of spouses have connected to Abby's performance for sure. Because Colleen, I've noticed like my wife is like, I know what she's talking about. Even though Abby's a big collector herself, but she played it well. She played her part well in the episode.
Was every room in the house is a toy room. The bedroom is a toy room. It was good.
Look, there's nothing wrong with having Matchbox in the bedroom. Okay, so nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
That goes back to the old adult joke meme. My wife said she wanted me to bring more toys to the bedroom, and I brought my Marvel Legends collection in. You know, it's funny.
We could do Star Wars. It could be Darth Vader. Zoom. Real quick, I gotta agree with Power Turtles here.
You're Silver Snakes. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta go with that. Greg says Double Dare, American Gladiators. Yes,
both American Gladiators. Both of those. Yeah.
And Don says there's a guy that works at New York Comic Con we used to refer to as Olmec. He has a very defined
very chiseled features, I guess.
Yeah, right.
I swear, like, anywhere I go with Don, there's a crazy story. Like last year at New York Comic Con, there was the old man who was getting fussed at when he was over there, like doing what he was supposed to do, like the signing for a comic book I was getting like graded.
Yeah,
it's just wild. Like, just wild stories with me and Don. I don't know why, but I guess now we have wild stories to tell everybody. Hey, Tizzle says, "Hey there, what's going on, A Tizzle?" We got Four Feathers. Says, "Hey Tizzle." Tex Hex says, "Evening, fellas. Hope you're doing well. What's going on, Tex Hex?" Flash says, "Jay, were you guys prohibited from wearing GDL/YHS apparel?"
Yeah. So we had to show them different clothing options, and they had to approve the clothing that and then we had to bring essentially like 3 different sets of clothes, and then we brought them to the studio, and then the producers like looked at him. We tried different ones on, and they're like, okay, that's good, that's not good, whatever. Because I think they also want to make sure it whoever's but like the audience behind you, like it contrasts well. They don't want a lot of graphics or anything like that. But yeah, so they have to approve they had to approve whatever I was wearing.
Comic Book Men was the exact same way. They hated me, by the way.
Oh yeah,
because they told me up front. I'm somewhat kidding, but they said essentially no logo. It's like don't wear shirt logo on it.
Yep.
And I wore like an Under Armour polo, something that's the smallest little logo. Oh. And the first thing they say, "Dude, what's with the shirt?" And I'm like, So they had a big bag of clothing. They gave me a shirt to wear.
Yeah,
which I got to keep.
Nice. So that's good.
Well, whatever, But yeah, I guess it's a whole thing with who their sponsors are and that sort of thing.
Well, even the because the whole premise Mint with card. If you notice, we didn't really show the cards because they didn't want to show the Ghostbusters logo on TV. And if you look at even the figures, they kind of took away the Ghostbuster patches on their arms.
Oh wow, I didn't notice that was a problem.
So like the way they saw for showing the cards was like the back of them, but even they were kind of blurred out and above. That they didn't want to show any of the, which I guess makes sense because you got to pay to. I mean, I think it still should be fine because it should be within like Creative Commons or something, but whatever.
Right.
The product placement is huge, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Power Turtle says Craig is funny as hell, corny but funny, and Abby turning was it was totally an Abby thing.
I give Abby all the credit in the world because it was very last minute. She got because we tested she tested fine the first day. It was the second day that she tested positive. So they and we'll take Craig will tell more of the side of the story when we're on tomorrow, but they had to set all of that up within like an hour or 30 minutes of us being there. And they had to, it was basically setting up a camera, all that stuff right before we filmed it. And she read the room so well. Like she was engaging, like, and getting the feel for where Harvey was going, and then like push, like just like the whole classic Craig behavior. Like she was just, it was a tour de force performance. Like I that was incredible. And then the second that happened, that's when Steve was just on Craig the rest of the way. You're like, you didn't talk much. Like after that, it was all Craig. Like Craig was just trying to deflect and just like, and it was only maybe there 5 minutes of what you saw, but it was probably like 20 minutes or something like that. And so like the culmination was I thought he was a Christian was like the where the tension released. It was just hilarious.
And just the way Craig delivered that line.
Yes.
I don't know. Maybe he's a Christian too.
Yes.
Like, and they cut right to you and you start laughing. Like you were just, it was great. And I
it was amazing.
More wrestling terminology tonight. You were super over with the crowd. Like at the beginning, you could see like they were like real serious about it. Like, and then as it like opened up into the topic and like you realized this is a whole thing with YouTube and TV show and YouTube shows. And they just looked like they were having a blast watching you guys go back and forth. It was great.
The audience was so into it. Like, so there's another part they cut out where I think it was still Abby was still talking, and it was another instance of classic Craig behavior. So then either Abby or Steve started to say it, and the whole audience chanted together, classic Craig behavior. Like, I'm so bummed they cut that one out because it was just as funny as those other moments. But yeah, they were so, and then what was funny is, you know, the case closed, Steve Harvey leaves. And I have a video, but I'll show it on our stream tomorrow, but they're pumping music. I have a DJ kind of keeping because that's that same crowd the whole day that has to do all of those cases. And but like as we're wrapping up, like people were like, so you know, they were trying to like figure out different parts of the case because they were trying to solve it in their head and stuff like that.
That's great. That's
awesome. That's awesome. Well,
did you get any time with Steve Harvey, like a short meet and greet or anything like that?
Nope.
Especially with the got time for all this.
No, that too. But like it was literally like we were in that dressing room or whatever for like 3 hours, and then we actually were there through lunch break, which is probably why it took longer, and they fed us lunch, which was nice. And then they basically like 10 minutes before it's showtime, they bring us into the studio. They get the lav mic, everything set up, and then they just bring us out to where we were standing. And the producers were off to the side where all the cameras were coming in and everything. And they said, if we want you to nudge you in one way or another, we'll have these cards and we'll show you. And then, you know, it was probably like another 10 minutes, and then just Steve Harvey walks out. And he talked to the audience for a little while, like didn't even really acknowledge Craig right yet. He was more talking to the audience and kind of goofing around, talking about different things. And then once it was showtime, that's, as you saw it, that's when the stuff started.
Real quick here, Dom says, I could just imagine what was going through Steve's head when Craig says we're toy tubers.
Yeah, that's one of the screenshots I took, by the way. we're toy tubers.
Yeah.
We have, you know, internet shows.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's perfect. It's so perfect.
I want the full cut because it was, they captured some of the funniest parts, but I was like, it was pretty much like from that point where the Abby turn happens on, or even when Abby first comes on, there was another part that got cut out where when Abby first comes on the screen, Steve Harvey's like, okay, Craig, because, you know, Abby's a very beautiful woman. And he's like, wait, that's your wife, you know? And there was a bit of that exchange as well. That was really funny. And just that whole, from that point on, it was laugh out loud the whole time. Here's a screenshot I put up for you.
So Craig's explaining like what mint on card means.
Yes.
And it was, and when with vintage toys, when you remove the item from the package, it's like driving a car off the lot. You're losing about 9% of the value. And Steve Harvey's face, he just like turns his head sideways and goes, as soon as you take it out of the box. It's so good.
But there's another part cut out. He talked about like, I get it. I get toys. Like, when I was a kid, I had Bugs Bunny. Like he talked about the toys that he had as a kid or whatever. So that was a cool moment.
That's nice. Your wife's so sick and damn tired.
Yeah. But that was later on. Again, that was probably like after 10, 15 minutes of just Abby. And then he kind of closed with that.
Nice. I was curious. But I'm glad you have fun. I'm glad it was all fun and it was enjoyable for what it was. For overall, it was enjoyable. It was a good time, have fun. Yeah, and I think that's what we lose mostly in this. Is just have fun. Just have a good time.
And that was our whole premise the whole time. It was just like, even Craig was like, I can't believe we're doing this. Like, this is so insane. This is so silly. But it was just kind of like one of those things like, well, when presented with an opportunity to try something, let's try it and see what it's like. And it was an absolute blast. And especially just being in Atlanta and hanging out with Craig and Abby. And they took me to, I think, is it Second Chance Toys and Collectibles in Atlanta? Okay. So my first time being there. But yeah, it was one of the most nervous I've ever been before, because it was just I think the thing that kind of threw me off is because I'd seen other reality shows I've never been a part of one, but I've seen other ones being done before. And a lot of times, like, if producers don't like a take, they'll have you redo it or something like that. Mm-hmm. But when they say, like, nope, it's just it's going to be captured live, and whatever it is what it is. And that kind of freaked me out a little bit. Because I was like, oh, there's no redos, there's no retakes. I just need to nail it the whole time or whatever. And that had me so nervous. But again, once it got going, I was like, okay, it's fine. I'm fine. But that just that whole lead up to it, I was so nervous. I was so nervous.
I highly suggest for everybody to go watch it. It's absolutely hilarious. It is on Hulu already. So if you're on Hulu with your Hulu account, it's the final episode of the season, I believe.
Season finale.
Yeah. So go check it out, everybody. It's probably about maybe 15, 20 minutes, I believe. It's I think there's two other ones in the episode.
We're in the middle. We're the middle one.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. I went back and watched it. I was like, let me because I had Hulu Live. I was like, all right, so I got wrestling on the big TV. I was like, oh shoot, I forgot about the Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey was like, oh, let me go back and like, there it is. I got it. But Jay, I did want to talk to you also about what happened at San Diego Comic-Con, because you did something that has not been done. Which was pretty awesome. You had the first panel with all YouTubers on it.
Yeah.
We talked about toys, which was pretty awesome. So can you tell us how that kind of came about and how you set that up?
Yeah. So prior to doing GeekDadLife or any of this toy tubering stuff, I've been a podcaster for 18 years. So I started podcasting about a TV show called Lost in 2005. And that was like in the very early days of podcasting. It was one of, if not the first TV show podcast that talked about a TV show. And it was a really big show. I was 20 years old when I started it, and it was a full-time job up through when I married Colleen when I was 26. And the show ended. So while doing that, back in 2006, started going to Comic-Con as part of the Lost community. And in 2007, I had gotten in touch with somebody, one of the program people at Comic-Con. So I started doing a Lost fan panel at Comic-Con and hosting that panel. So I've done that this past year was the 15th year that I've done that panel. So the thing that people I don't think realize about San Diego Comic-Con is it's a nonprofit organization, and it's not some big corporation. It's a lot of just passionate people that work that convention and make it happen. And so it's pretty much been the same programming people for nearly 20 years that I've been going and been doing these panels. So I had this idea last year, didn't have enough time to pull it off. And then this time, like just through talking to different toy tubers and stuff, like who's gonna be there, who's not gonna be there. You know, would you be up to this? And then kind of once I had a good, at least a handful of toy tubers like, yeah, sure, that'd be fun. I was like, okay, so let me pitch this to the programming people at Comic-Con. And the thing is, like with when you write your submission for this idea, you send it in, but then you don't know if they say yes or no. But so I submitted it and with the whole premise of it, and it got accepted, and so it got to be a real deal panel at Comic-Con, which was a ton of fun, and it's I don't know. It was neat. It was a lot of fun. It was great to like share a stage with like a legendary person like Pixel Dan, and then friends, you know, like Mad Hatter and Yes Have Some, and then getting to I've known Kevin from Toying Around for a while, but really getting to spend time with him there.
Nobody worry about him.
But
He don't show up to this show anymore.
But so yeah, it was a neat kind of, this could be cool, and I think it turned out. I don't know. I don't know. Did you enjoy it? I had a fun time.
Yes, I did enjoy it. I love what it was about. Just like going over everything like that people may have missed, because there was a lot of stuff going on there, and having people who talk about it as a panel kind of I think it makes it a little bit easier and my size to easily just like kind of, okay, now I can see what I missed and kind of catch up pretty quickly. Thank you for the little promo there for us. I did see us. And thanks to my man Ewan. He posted those pictures for us. So if it was Kevin's head in the way, that's the reason why. He stole it from someone else. I was like, look, stole pictures again for those stuff. Yes. But no, it was a good time. It was something that was enjoyable, and I'm glad that it was. I'm happy that you were able to pull it off, and I'm glad that it was done, because then it shows us that we're just regular folks like everybody else. Like we're just regular people.
Yep. That's what I tell people. Like it's something, especially having done not just toy tubing, but just like making content on the internet. I don't know, it's just this human thing that happens where, oh, I see you on a screen or I hear you on a thing. So that means, you're this. And I was like, no, we're just like you. We just like talking about it out loud and having friends across the internet or whatever. Like we're no different other than we like doing this stuff, or we like making this a part of our toy collecting journey or whatever. And so, yeah, absolutely. It's fun. That was neat about PowerCon. It was just meeting so many people. Like, it's like this chat, but in real life, it's like, oh, hey, that's awesome. So great to like meet you in real life, because, it's, being a young kid toy collector before the internet, you kind of feel like I'm a weirdo. I'm the only one that exists. And like when the internet first came, or at least to me, when it first came into my house, I was just like, oh, there's other people like me. And so like, it's just this part of it is like, I don't know, it's what makes it really special.
Yeah. And even so too, as awful as the pandemic had been, that was one of the positives coming out of it is, I think so many people, because they were on the internet, either launched their own content, they met friends, and then the coolest thing was, we was talking about this, when shows started back up and then meeting those people in person. It's like a geek out moment. And again, I think what you did was brilliant. I think that was awesome to have everybody together for that panel. I loved watching it. It was one of my highlights of the weekend. And it's almost like a little mini like franchise crossover, because you watch all these different YouTube channels, and then seeing everybody together in a room talking with each other was awesome. So thank you for doing that. That was really enjoyable.
That's even in my last podcast days, I was, because I don't know, maybe we've been in internet communities before, where it's like, oh, well, they're there, they don't talk to them, or they're not a part of this. And I've always been much more of the, let's just be friends, let's support each other, let's cheer on when our friends succeed, and like we can all be happy and successful together. And so so doing that panel was another of those, like, just we all love the same thing, we all want to be supportive of each other. And my hope is you know, over time, like to, you know, if other people are coming, like try and get different toy tubers on there. And, you know, if we get invited back more over time, and, you know, just kind of, again, kind of just continue to spread the web of toy tubery, you know?
I like it.
Yes. Oh, I've been forced. So next year. I'm going to try and make it out there. This will be my first time being out there. So next
To
year,
San Diego?
yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm always because I was hitting New York Comic Con up. I'm like always hitting New York. I'm like, all right.
NYCC is nice and all, but SDCC, I think you should do it. I think you need to do it. But it is, I don't know. Anybody here has done it like the first time? That first time is like, it's so nuts.
My first time at New York Comic Con was completely not planned. We were in the city for the day, and my girlfriend got tickets on StubHub that day, and we went to it. And that's how it was for me there.
Yeah.
You know, I'm used to small town conventions. At that point, I hadn't even been to like RetroCon or anything like that.
Yeah.
So walking in and just like you mentioned, seeing my people, you know, and just the stuff that is there.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that being amplified to the point of SDCC. I haven't been there either, obviously. So it's got to be trippy.
It is. Again, I was on my 17th time going in a row or something like that, outside of the pandemic being postponing. But even still, like even this year, I kind of felt like an old man for the first time. I was like, there's just too many people. Just keep moving. Why do you need a stroller in this convention floor? You know, it's like this is not the place.
Exactly. That's the same way I feel about New York Comic Con. I'm like, you know, like because Thursday it used to be fine. Like before the pandemic, Thursday I was like, not many people here. You can just walk around. But Friday, be like, okay, it's a little bit more walking around. But Saturday, can you use some deodorant, sir, please?
Oh yeah.
Too close up on
that stink. The con stink.
Yes.
I understand the lack of carpeting this year was quite an issue for people getting around there.
Was there no carpet? I may have missed that. No carpeting.
A bunch of videos that I guess they typically just after the show's over they throw away the carpet. So this year I guess is like an environmental thing. They mustn't have had carpet down on the main showroom floor. So by like the third and fourth day, everybody's like knees and joints supposedly were like
okay.
That's why you wear comfortable sneakers.
Yeah.
Like, look, we've been going to cons for too long that you don't wear a comfortable sneaker. You know this.
Yeah.
The most important thing: brush your teeth, deodorant, and comfortable sneakers, and take a shower. That's it.
Shower.
4 things you really know. 4 things. That's it.
We
already know
a can of Axe body spray for the person in front of you and behind you if necessary.
No.
If necessary.
No. Do not use Axe because Axe only enhances the funk. It intertwines itself into the funk. I used to work with a person that was like that who used to wear some Axe body spray over their funk, and it just intertwines into the funk, and it just makes it even worse. It's like Axe funk. And it's not even like a good smell.
Thank you for this. This gagging moment was brought to you by Axe Body Spray, our new sponsor, folks. You want to curse somebody out, spray a can of Axe.
Oh man. But yeah, it's Dom's right. 2017 was a miserable year for Comic-Con. That was a bad year.
Was it?
I think what made this year worse just for me was last year it was kind of like a throttled post-pandemic one, so it was kind of chill, which was nice. And then this year, because of the strike, there were no big panels with stars and stuff like that. So really, all people had to do was do the floor, so it was packed. And then some of the smaller panels, like even the Hasbro Star Wars panel, like my wife got in like an hour early, which is early for like a toy panel. But it had already like zigzagged and around the thing, and we didn't get into it. So it was nuts in a different way this year.
Wow. Well, you think of like an amusement park, like Disney or, you know, whatever.
Sure.
When rides start to go down, everybody's getting pushed into those rides that are left.
Yep.
And you have less absorption going on of that amount of people, right?
Yep. 100%.
Well, I think more people were happy because it was like, hey, now it's getting back to its roots, like without all that.
Yep. Hollywood,
just Comic-Con, like what it used to be.
That's true.
You go there for the comics and the toys. I'm like, all right, cool. I think a lot of people were just like, yeah, it seemed like I don't know if I haven't heard if it was like much better for everybody overall, but from what I've seen, it looked like it was still fun.
Oh,
Hey,
again,
that's
it's
a good time.
always a blast. It's always a blast. It's for me, it's more just because I have so many friends that I only see once a year at Comic-Con, you know. So it's like it's getting to see them. And yeah, just getting to experience all the things that are there, getting to see new things and getting to see rare things and um yeah, it's just also weird. I don't know, maybe I missed this, but like graded VHS tapes are a thing now and they're like really expensive.
Yes,
That was something new I
yes,
saw. Like,
because the Disney movies, like the old Disney VHS,
yeah,
I think it's like they have that black diamond on them, so
sure.
like worth something.
But those
So yeah,
like
I can see that.
these are like still sealed and they grade them. Like CGC is grading VHS tapes.
Oh, I can believe it.
And like
They're getting their hand on everything.
they had like a first edition Ghostbusters sealed and they wanted like $7,000 for that thing. And I was like, Jesus. But anyway.
That's
Yeah,
something.
I'm telling you, if they're doing video games, they're gonna move on to whatever they can grade. Like they
Yep.
have, remember, like they have graded cereal boxes too.
Yeah.
So
I have some sealed VHS tapes. I gotta figure out how to submit them so I can retire or something. Which I wouldn't retire. I would just buy more stupid toys I don't need.
Exactly.
2 cats Lairs.
That's it.
Man, that thing. What was that like to see in person? He saw it in person twice, right?
Twice. And it was even more impressive and gargantuan at PowerCon. Just because I think in Comic-Con it was more closed in and it was just so many people. But at PowerCon, it had like all the space to breathe. And I was like, this thing looks even more massive in this space. So it's incredible. Like, you know, I commit, we can give Super 7 a hard time at times in fair critiques at times. But the fact they're doing that at, was it $650 or whatever it is? I mean, once you're probably all in shipping and tax, like $800, but still all of that for $800, you know, I think it's relatively a good deal and it looks incredible. It looks absolutely incredible.
I thought Mad Hatter might have stole the show with his final video that he did, where he was interacting with it. Like it was perfect. It was perfect. It was absolutely hilarious.
Oh my God. So good.
I was talking to my buddy about it last Saturday. I'm just like, I was going to get it. And then he's like, well, my wife told me I could regulate the space for it. He's like, yeah, that's not going to be enough for space for it. I'm like, wait, he's like, unfolded. Like, there's no point. I'm just like, when you're thinking about like unfolding that thing, it's like, how much retail space is that taking up in your house? Like, basically, I got to call it retail space because now it's retail space for like, hey, so who owns that land over there? Oh, that's Cat's Lair. Over there, man. They got grass over there. They doing the whole thing over there. Well, and you just think of like how much of that, like I understand Galactus and you know, and Sentinels, yeah, you put them in the spot. Okay, they're not taking up much space. We have a full blowout play set that's huge like that. Plus, you got the Thunder Tank with it. Now you're talking about, man, what space am I going to have left?
It is. So I think it was Hatter. His approach to it, I think is smart. I can't remember if we talked about this offline or if it was when he was on our show a week or so ago. But because you can detach the claws, which take up a lot of. I mean, it's probably like, I don't know, like that far out, and then turn it around so in the display you show just the inside of it, and you don't need as much depth to it when you take the claws off of the set. And I was like, oh, that's actually a really smart way to kind of, you know, at least not have it come out as far.
Very, very wise way. That way, if you want to take photos of the front, you can. But from a storage perspective, obviously. Yeah. You know, so that's a great idea to cut down to the depth that way.
Yeah. So I was like, that's pretty clever. But to me, it's like if you're a Thundercats fan and to me, I think it's a must buy. But if you aren't, I can totally say like there's just not enough space. I don't know where the hell you're gonna put it.
Yeah, like a Sentinel or even a Galactus. I feel like if you're not that big of a Marvel Legends collector, you still might get that for the FOMO, right? There you go. So, and then you could move it along. So if you don't want it down the road, whatever, right? Yeah. But that sort of piece, I mean, you
that's
need
a commitment.
To know what
you're doing it.
Yes.
No, you're doing a pickup. I'm not shipping this. You're picking it up. Okay, I'll meet you in a parking lot somewhere. I can fit in the back of my trunk, but we're not shipping this. Like, there's no way. Like,
Well, they have to ship it
doing
in
a
2
pickup.
separate boxes because anything bigger than the biggest box they could possibly put it in would mean they'd have to palletize it to ship it.
Oh wow.
So it's in 2 gigantic boxes that it'll ship in. So it's as big a box as they can ship it in without palletizing it twice.
That's amazing. It's absolutely.
I mean, it's just nuts.
So happy that exists.
Real
It
quick,
warms my heart.
Yeah, we got some comments here. Machines Man says, any callbacks for the Steve Harvey show? The Judge Steve Harvey.
Wait, what? Any callbacks?
He's a Machine Man says.
Any for us to go back?
Yes.
The producers they were in love with us. So I've talked to Craig. I think there's a couple of ways you could do a sequel to it. I don't know if I'd be a part of it. Maybe like Abby's finally going to sue for her own room or something like that. I don't know, but I don't know. We'll see.
Flash 739 says they probably film so many a day just in case any of them aren't interesting. Yeah.
I feel like Steve would pull it out of you and make it interesting. That's what I would think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. Greg says, wow, a lost podcaster. That show has so much for you to talk about.
Yep.
Dom says, I was planning on going to the panel, even walked to the venue ahead of time. Then I met up with a mix of enablers and Toy Migos for lunch and lost track of time. They will do that to you. Enablers will do that to you. And them Toy Migos will. Dom says, I did watch it on YouTube, though. Greg says, damn, Dom, I bet the enablers and Toy Migos would have had a blast at it. Payne's Toy Samples says, Jay, Dante, and Tim have a great show. Check the replay tomorrow. Well, you have a good day and good night. Hope you have a good day tomorrow too. Which you'll be watching this tomorrow, good day, Saturday. So hope you have a good Saturday and Sunday. See.
And in case I don't see you, good evening and good night.
Exactly. Power Total Bus says exactly how I felt with no internet, etc. No one else cared about Ghostbusters or collecting figures. I was the only one known for the Ghostbusters fan when there was no Ghostbusters.
Yeah. I felt like I was literally the only Ghostbusters super fan in the world up until I first used the internet in 1997. And I was like, there's other Ghostbuster fans out there.
Don says, I barely missed Jay at SDCC. I just gotten onto the shuttle back to my hotel and saw Jay walk by right outside the window. Yo, Donnie having these stories.
So close.
He's like, yeah, I walked by so-and-so. I walked by Brody King. I'm like, Dom, why you say so? I just
no. Right there. Like, you should have banged on the window or something. Jay.
He's like, yeah. He's just like, yeah, what's going on? It's coming in with me. That's what I get. Like when people say, like, hey, Don, I'm like, what hell? Or jittery, like, get down. Like, okay. Now I gotta ask people like, so what's your name again? Oh, okay, because they be like, my name's David. Hey, David, nice to meet you. Because I'm trying to think like people don't tell you like what their YouTube name is.
And then he's like, it's me. I'm Armadillo 1 2 3 4 5 7 8.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
I had kind of embarrassing one at Comic-Con this year. I was at that Hasbro breakfast thing. And somebody comes up to me and is like, hey, it's GeekDadLife. And I was like, I know you. Why don't I remember your name? I know you. And he's like, and I won't say his name because he's not public about his name, but he's just like, it's me, so-and-so from Toy Shiz. And I was like, oh, Toy Shiz. Yes. He's one of my oldest Toy Tuber friends. And we talk fairly frequently. But I had not seen him since PowerCon, and he had like a beard. It just had been so long since I've seen him, especially because he doesn't show his face on his channel or anything. And I was like, oh, God, I'm an idiot. Yes, hello. It's good to see you, buddy.
That's the craziest thing, too, because we all watch Toy Shiz, right? We all make toy posts on Instagram to Toy Shiz. But it still blows my mind that I could be in a store at a con next to him and not even know.
Yeah.
I was very secretive. Dante could tell you, I never showed my face for the first couple of years I did YouTube. And it became a big ongoing joke. Like, who is he? What's he look like? For Toy Shiz, it's like times a million at this point, right?
Mm-hmm. But what's kind of crazy is, so if I wouldn't, I don't know if he would have been comfortable with it, but he moderated a different panel. as himself, and I was like, "What? You're all secretive about your true identity." But yeah, Toy Shiz, really, really good person. Again, like early days, me starting my channel, like 500 subscribers or whatever. Reached out. I was like, "Hey, I love what you're doing," or whatever, stuff like that. I was like, "What? Oh, that's so," Anyway, so really, really good person.
It's funny because you said that because I was at Legion's Con last year. I was standing there with Dom. And I was like, "Yeah, it's like half my con stories have Dom in it somewhere. Like Dom Chichiato is always somewhere around there."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, look, it's Jared." I was like, "Who's Jared?" I don't like Jared from something. Like I'm thinking like Jared from something.
Oh no,
like,
not that
like,
guy.
no, Toy Bro.
Not that
I was
guy.
like, "Oh shit!" And I was like, "All right, well, let me go and introduce myself because I'm like, I feel stupid right now, and I should go and introduce myself." I'm like, "Hey, Jared, how you doing? I didn't know you were Toy Bro. My bad." Yeah,
Oh yeah, that was at Legion's Con last year, right?
yeah.
When we signed
Yeah.
that, even if you see people on camera though, when it's in person, I think it still could be trippy. Like
Yeah.
you look at these people all the time on your screen, and you don't necessarily like have that connection right
Sure.
away. Recognize them sometimes. I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, 100%. 100%.
Monsters from Beyond says only that center area had a carpet.
Okay.
Dom says I must have been really lost in 2017 because I felt like there were a lot less people this year. I was able to easily walk around the floor. Monster says best feeling in the world is taking a shower after a day of Comic-Con.
Yep.
That is best feeling. Flash said need to walk around with Glade plug-in that sprays at various points. Don says I was going to Hasbro a lot for the carpeted floor.
Man, Hasbro booth, that one was packed this year. Like I felt like I couldn't really get around that thing.
I can believe it. Like when they came to New York Comic Con, it was packed because everybody was looking at the Vengeance. I forget the name.
Engine of Vengeance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody was looking at.
That's
that.
right. They had it there. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were just adding little figures in each day. I'm like, ooh. And what killed me too, because I forget somebody said something like, "Oh, what about Damian Hellstrom?" And I think I asked Wade about it. He was like, "I don't know, maybe." I'm like, "Well, that has to be the fourth passenger." I mean, and then they come out like that. I'm like, "Damn it, Dwight! Damn it! Con me!"
Was that only this past New York Comic Con that
Yeah.
happened?
Did it feel like a lifetime ago?
Well, you said at the beginning of the show how time is like meaningless anymore.
Yeah.
3 minutes, 3 years. I don't freaking know.
Yeah.
Man, that's wild. It's wild.
Grace said disavow, just carry lights on for breeze.
Yeah.
Man. Stress says never go wrong with cologne, fellas. So yes, you can go wrong with cologne at a con because it can make the smell even worse.
Yeah. That's okay. So I need like a cologne consultant because I don't use cologne, but I feel like because I have kind of a sensitive nose and sometimes it kind of makes me nauseous.
Right.
But like, am I missing a step? Like beyond deodorant, do I need a little bit of cologne action? I don't know. So I'm putting it out there. And if it's a cologne consultant, let me know.
So I found this, like I started using like the deodorants that don't have like the what's it called?
The aluminum or something.
Yes.
Yeah. And
they work perfectly. They last all day.
Yeah.
I forget the name of it. It's at Target. You can get it at Target. It's like it's all white and it like has like something depending on what smell it is. They have like a little box outline to it, but it works. It works all day. Even when you're like sweating hard, like you like that still smells good. All right. So if your underarms itchy and it's becoming like dark, that's why. Because the aluminum's in it, and you gotta start changing it up.
Yeah.
But learn about some hygiene habits.
Yes. Deodorant talk today.
Exactly. One thing we didn't. I told you, but I said it like, yo, I didn't think it was. I was mean. I was just being joking when I said it, but I guess we are talking about everything today. Mobile Clue says, "Wow, my two favorite toy tubers will catch the replay." Thank you, Mobile. Yes, I actually met him last year at New York Comic Con. Nice show. Damien says, "You guys are welcome to come over to MCM London someday." I would love to, but I gotta get a passport first.
Oh, you gotta get your passport. I think MCM was like the weekend before because I went to Germany for Spielwarenmesse. I feel like if it's the same kind, maybe I'll try and do like a 1-2 since I'm gonna be going that way anyway.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
I'll try that.
I'm definitely doing. I want to do the Tokyo celebration. Like my wife and I were like, we put it on the calendar. We're gonna make it happen. I've never been to Japan. Huh?
I haven't either. I want to go.
Yeah. It's 2024, 4 or 5. I don't know. We got time. I got time to worry about it.
You let me know. We'll plan that one together.
Okay. All right.
Like we'll be like 4. If you ever watch Lonely Island, like 4 friends of Japan.
Yes.
That's why we're friends. Like guys, there's budget for this music that's going over. Greg says Damien and intrude upon Dan and Rich M's domain. Yes, I would do that. I'll push Dan Who, like, get out of my way, Dan Who. I'm the new London guy.
Pow, right out of
Exactly. Bart says, still waiting on IE-Con and Dante's basement so we can play with toys. That's never going to happen.
Nah.
What's going on? Mike Heck says, oh, snap, it's that guy. Happy says, totally unrelated. My Action Force Warriors Sworn Trooper arrived today. Very nice. Mike Heck says, better deal than loose Ghostbusters.
Hey, they were with card, okay? Adds to the value.
Meant with card. Meant it with card. Power Turtle Buster says, told folks, don't get rid of your physical media. If the internet just went out, your stuff is gone. Vids can be altered and all from streaming. Blockbuster might even come back when people's eyes open. That is true.
Yeah. Especially like as now all of these streaming companies like, oh wait, we can't make money from this, so they're getting rid of stuff.
Yeah.
So Kevin has proved me wrong.
See, there he is. Kevin, just so you know, there was I don't want to start another toy tuber beef.
Steve Harvey, like, you came from Canada for what? He says, I'm not a real butter baron. I was like, he's not. Show me where the butter's at. Show me the company he has. Like, I want to see his name on the paper where the butter's at. He didn't invite me to his Toygate tail party. He didn't invite nobody.
Oh,
He don't invite nobody from the States anymore.
Oh.
Don't say, come on up to Canada.
That's not cool. It's not cool, Kevin.
I can be with Dante. I go here. Oh man, that'd be the best. Oh wow. Mike says, Dante, are you gonna try to meet Eric Larson in New York Comic Con? I can try. So the thing is about this. So I don't know. So with artists, it's weird because sometimes they have a long line, sometimes they don't.
Sure.
Sometimes they're only like you have to pre-register. I know for what was it? Art can I forget Art if you're still here. He writes like he does Batman. I forget his name now. But Greg is him and Greg Capullo. Like you have to sign up for that. Like so it depends on what New York Comic Con does, how they work it and everything. Which is weird because I just saw Tim Curry and Susan Sarandon will be there this year.
Okay.
Yeah, they just emailed me. Like,
oh, all right.
Wow.
Kevin says, "Hey Jay, how was court?"
You know how it was, okay? Vindicated.
Right.
All charges dropped.
Late. My fee. Man, I'm free. I don't charge anybody anything. I wish I was big enough to charge. Now Jay can charge you. Now I can't.
No, I'm not charging shit.
Thank you, Don. Scott Snyder. That's it. Scott Snyder. Sometimes you just need an old man to witness an autograph. Yeah. Oh man. All right. So for our last half hour, we're talking about some toys.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me pull this up here. So we'll start with my new favorites. I'm sorry. What did you say, Tim?
I was going to say this is one of those weeks where the toy collecting again proved to be a liar. I'll leave it at that till we get to a certain item that was announced pre-orderable.
Okay. It says Annabelle, fresh out of jail, California dream.
That's me.
Yes,
Even
Frankie,
though originally
yeah,
I was trying to have a countersuit because another note, if Craig would have won, the producers would have given him the $3,000. So like whenever the judge awards money, the producers pay you that money.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. So
Wow.
the original goal was for me to have a countersuit also for $3,000. So that way, no matter what, one of us would have gotten the money. And then our goal was if anybody won, we would just split the the winnings or whatever.
Oh, wow. That's wild.
No.
I wouldn't have known they actually award money.
Yeah. So like each in that episode, I think he gave like a $3,000 trip. That or they were giving like 10 grand or something, and we were the ones that didn't get any money. I was like, come on. But we got money to show up. Like we got $1,000 for the appearance. They gave us $1,000, and then paid for us to fly down there. They put us in a hotel, paid for our food. So that's we did get that.
I did not get that for Comic Book Men. Just to be fair.
Get to be on TV, maybe.
Maybe. So you're telling me there's a chance.
I got bumped by Ernie Hudson. Ironically enough.
No offense to you, but Ernie Hudson. I mean,
I guess he's got something going. You know, he's got a future ahead of that young guy.
Yeah.
So the new Legions that I'm all in on is my Cosmic Legions. As you can see right here, this guy is awesome. I love these things are so funky fresh. Actually, you know what? I did not show this off. I did show this in the picture as well. It's a sector head.
Oh dang!
Who did it? And it's made.
That's amazing.
Mouse, I've lost it. But
nice.
It's very well done. So.
Dante doing his magic.
Who did that?
I forget. I bought it at New Jersey Collectors Con, which is funny enough. And I forget the gentleman he said who did it. But he is in the Cabal as well.
Damn.
I wish I gotta find out because he'll be at Legion's Con as well. So, but I'll find out when I find out the name. But I did forget. I do apologize. What asking for what twice? What was I asking?
I guess you're asking six grand for your appearance there. Is that what he's saying?
I wish. At PowerCon, they showed book 2. Is this book? No, sorry, book 1. Was this book 1? I thought this the other ones were book 1. I'm confused. I don't know. But I'm gonna go with what they say here. All in Cosmic Legions, Ox Crew, book 1, Thraxon. Oh, you know, if I'm saying half these right. But I'm in all in on these. They look great.
They look amazing. They're so good. Like I don't have any because I have strategically avoided them because if I just do one, I'm going to need them all. And I've successfully not bought one yet.
That was me a few weeks ago at a toy show. It was the first time I saw the Cosmics like in hand, in box, not behind glass. And I exact same thing. I knew if I got the one I liked, every time I go, it's going to be okay. Add another one. And then Trevor shows up and he starts talking about Mythic Legions, and I buy one anyway.
Exactly.
It's just they're beautiful. They're so amazing.
Yeah, and this one kind of won me over with the series. This one because he kind of reminds me like I think somebody was saying like Buzz Lightyear kind of look. Yep. And this one as well.
Oh, I love the colors too.
On her heart, like, down for this. Down for this. This one, yeah. I don't even know none of I don't even care what the names are. I just want them. Like,
right? That's when it's just a good toy. It's like I don't care about the lore or whatever. I just think that's really cool.
Want that, need that. Right?
Yeah. Exactly. I feel that way with AWOC too. It's like I know there's a lore, I know there's comic books, but that's just a cool toy. I want that.
Yes, exactly. Like the figures are great. And then I don't know what this is, but I need it.
I think that's from Chronicles from Riddick.
Yeah.
It can. Look, I need like 4 or 5 of them. And this guy, I think this was the highlight for everybody. Like everybody was like oohing and eyeing with him. Just kind of because he gives like that Star Wars kind of vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
But then I didn't see this coming. Like they were actually doing like set pieces with them now.
Mm-hmm.
So these look amazing. Yeah, they got.
I mean, they were at PowerCon this year. They were like Hasbro at a big convention. They were just lines and just packed, and like it was. Yeah, they were. I think they were the. I mean, there's a lot of stars of the show, but I think they were probably the big out of everybody there.
How many people did you see pulling wagons behind them, Jay? I know.
Well, instead of those big con bags, they're actually handing out wagons so that you could.
You get a wagon, and you get a wagon, and you get a wagon.
You need wagon, don't you? They just like they won't even be like, yeah, go ahead and back the truck up to this house,
right?
Yeah, one of those pods containers out in the parking lot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Because even at least kind of like it's hilarious, like how much people walk out, man.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yep.
I'm like, yo, you struggling there, buddy. But this year at least kind of I'll be struggling too because I'll be like, yeah, let me go ahead and get.
We rented a Airbnb, and so by the time it was time to walk to our car, it was a sight because I had the Mondo Battle Cat, I had all this stuff and just in boxes and just trying to walk to the car. It was, if anybody saw that, it'd been the most hilarious looking thing ever because I had like 2 stacks of boxes and bags also in my hands as I was carrying the boxes, just trying to waddle to our car.
And then the wife's like, so can you get the groceries? Look, I was battle ready for this. Yeah, groceries on one arm. Like, look.
Yeah, I mean that's like grocery. Yeah, I agree. If you can't do all of your groceries on one arm, like what are we even doing here?
You know what? Circulation be damned in that situation. Yeah. It's about pride. I'm not leaving one bag behind.
Exactly.
In that car.
Exactly.
I will get it all in there. I will pull a muscle. It's pride.
Yes.
Yep. I may lose a pinky, but
right.
But I got the milk, the water, and the iced tea all at the same time.
Yeah.
Because when we buy cases of water, like I'm buying I'm taking 2 of those in at the same time. It's like,
yeah,
no,
that's. Or get the I think the water bottles. I'll put it over my shoulder. You know, just kind of walk it in.
Yep.
It's like that's right, honey. You married a stud.
Mike with a good comment. Now they do paper bags again, so I'm screwed. Yeah, if you live in the state of New Jersey, there's a really good video I saw the other day. They basically made it illegal to have the plastic bags in these shopping stores, and it was a guy with like the Sarah McLachlan music playing, and it's like how you feel when you're putting your last plastic bag into your bathroom garbage can. And it's like real solemn and sad as he puts it into the trash can and walks away.
That's true. That's true. I will say we've transitioned to the canvas bags, like the big canvas bags. Even though they're not outlawed, they'll actually like give you a discount or something if you use a canvas bag. So those things are tanks. Now you can talk about like you can put a crap ton of stuff in there and you can really, go a long way. Canvas bags. Hashtag.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Canvas bags.
Real quick before we get into this, the debate, the great sewer debate. Monsters from Beyond says, "I want that big sludge dude." Damon says, "Jay, the Whiplash tribute is probably a top 24 figure for me anyway."
Yeah.
Stratton says, "I'm with you, Jay, on the Legions. You buy one and you're hooked. Dude, just buy one." Yeah.
No, because I've had friends that was like, "I'm not doing," and they get the one. It's like, oh, but I'm just gonna get the one. And then all of a sudden, next time I see him, but it's just 10. I'm just going to keep it to 10. And the next time I see him, like, okay, I know it's 50, but like, just look how beautiful they are. So I don't know anyone that can, it's like Pringles or Lay's potato chips. You can't just eat just one. You can't just get one Legion.
So this is what we do. So I'll get you a figure, Jay. I'll send it to you. And
no, see, that's the same. No,
great. No. That's great. Oh, look at this. Oh, sure. I'm online. How did I get online ordering all this stuff? Wait a minute. How did McCry get in there? Wait a minute. How did they shipped already?
They are the cholesterol for your wallet.
Exactly. Look, I got everybody hooked on that spot. I'm getting everybody hooked on these hibernation chambers. Now it's time for Cosmic Legions. Y'all getting everybody hooked on stuff.
How did this large moose end up on my front doorstep? Right?
Exactly.
Right, and it's like I need the moose. I gotta have the damn moose.
Eldred, what is this sorcery?
Oh, you mean
Yeah,
Spider
that
Moose?
Yep.
He rides his moose everywhere.
Too
I'm
good.
sorry, I thought I heard thunder outside.
Hey, Southern California's getting a hurricane in a couple of days. How about that?
Yeah, I was talking to my boss today about that. He was telling us, I was like, buckle in.
Yep.
Tom says, I just bought the new backdrop from Vasco Toys launched today. Yes, that backdrop is beautiful. If you haven't checked out Vasco Toys, check them out. Their backdrops are amazing. They do some wonderful work. We have one right here.
Hey, this is completely out of left field, but since you mentioned natural disasters, huge thoughts and prayers all the Maui people out there in Hawaii.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
awful.
The whole route. Yeah, again, thoughts and prayers. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
And then any super chats that we do get tonight I'm also throwing towards the Maui.
That's
Charles?
great.
I did see you here. So from last week's and this week's show, we'll throw all that into and give it all to the Maui disaster because Charles Shop and John from Jiu-Jitsu Show are doing a great thing. If you missed last week's episode, please, if you can go back and watch it, they're doing a great thing with that, especially like producing an animated show that's donating to charities as well. So
that's awesome.
Please, I'm not doing it justice. Go watch them. It's a great thing that they're doing. Support them and what they're doing there.
That's great.
Brian Keith says beautiful figures, but I gotta stay in my lane. No, come on, Brian. Come on this lane. Come in this lane. Take the exit off the highway. Come on,
let's take a little leisurely drive.
Yeah. Mike says I got infected with the Myth Legions bug. I avoided, but bought Cosmic Legions for Dan Who.
I was just gonna say, Mike, that's you watching Dan Who and not super producer, but yeah, those guys get you hooked quick too, man.
Mm-hmm.
They love them over there. And Dan Who have an awesome new intro, by the way, to his show.
Yes,
really cool.
Rapping.
I haven't seen it yet.
One day. Oh, yeah, he's rapping. I'm going to rapping now. My new intro I make. I'm like, Dan Who, he can't stop me. Look at me, Dan. I'm better than you, pals.
Dan Who is the single reason why there's currently an uptick and a run on Lisa Simpson action figures over on eBay. Yeah, he took Lisa Simpson's saxophone and has Hellfire Hank holding it in the intro. So it's all Dan's fault. That's why Lisa Simpson's $85.99 on eBay now.
Yeah, I've there's been a couple people who have accused me of like influencing secondary toy market prices. I was like, I'm just talking about something. I'm not. I promise there's no secret toy tuber cabal to try and change the prices of toys.
That's what we do. Yes, we all get into
we all meet together.
Hey, what can we influx this week?
I need like one of the artists out there do like a Marvel comics inspired Dark Reign drawing of like Dante and Jay and Dan Who and Craig and all those guys just like sitting there looking all serious, staring at a laptop with eBay open.
Is it cheap now? Did we buy enough of them? Now we begin.
Exactly. Let's see. Greg says that green head in a spacesuit looks like a Cyberman. Yes, he does. Ski Ray says Noggin, aka Dome Piece of Stark Man. Green big head, awesome. Flash says Jay, get these unboxing sell to Craig as midway car. Power Turtles says now how am I with Joe's? Know nothing but think they look cool. Still don't be buying them. Joe's are good. I mean, personally, I buy them because I did not have them as a kid, so 6-inch works perfectly well for me. Yeah. Bart says if they make a moose, Dante's in. I have the moose already, sir.
Yeah,
they already suckered me in. Yeah, they already suckered me in. Mike says I had a beach wagon at ChrisCon for my diorama. Yeah, you did have a nice little diorama. Mike, I forgot to. I wish I could have get in there and see it in person. Mike says, I feel bad I don't spend so much. That's okay. We're all here to enable you spend a little bit more. Don says, Leisure Cons had that one guy with the wagon, the D Blake signs. Yes, I remember him. Beach wagon. Don says, Mondo is tempting me so much. Yeah. My man Charles Chop, what's going on? How you doing? Mike says, now they do paperbacks again, so I'm screwed. Charles says, you can't even pump your own gas either in New Jersey. That is very true. But
That's
you know
weird.
what? I saw somebody.
That throws me off.
What's weird is I saw somebody try to pump their own gas in Jersey.
Did they stop them? Because usually it's like, yeah.
No, they did not stop them.
Really?
Yeah, I'm just like, okay. I'm like, you're not from here. I can see. I was like, you're not from the East Coast, so you don't know anything about this. Okay, cool.
It is super weird. Like sometimes I'll go across the bridge to Phillipsburg, which is like maybe an hour from here to Jersey. They have a Target there. And it is weird. Like I try to get gas in PA because it's just weird for me having somebody else pump my gas.
Yeah.
It's strange.
Now, I'm good with it. I don't have. That means I don't have. So when it's wintertime, I can sit in my car.
That's true. Wintertime, it is nice. Yes, that's true. But
And
I always feel bad. It's like, God, I need to have like, do I tip him? Like, what do I do?
Oh,
right. That's
like,
you are speaking to a former high school gas pumper.
Okay, so what am I supposed to do? What is a good? Do I tip them? Do I need to have cash on hand? Like, what's the deal?
The way it worked when I was a kid, back when dinosaurs roamed the earth, basically. It was like you got to do the squeegee, you check the oil. If they go above and beyond with it, then $1 or $2 is great.
Okay, that's usually just like, crap. Do I have like $5 or something? I got
a couple coins here, buddy.
But we don't, because my wife's family is in New York, so we drive through Jersey a lot, and but we don't really get gas there anymore because they added the gas tax. So it used to be cheaper. It used to be like the cheapest gas. And so now it's like, well, it's the same as Delaware or Maryland or New York, so I might just fill it up there.
You know what, Jay? I think the appropriate tip is just like reach into the back seat and like hand that kid like a DC Multiverse figure or something like that. like a clearance Todd McFarlane from Target. A Gorilla Grodd going for $4.99 on eBay.
Yeah, like I messed up because at PowerCon, McFarlane was giving away toys the entire convention. No, I should have just stocked up on a couple of those and then had those ready to give away.
You would have been good to go.
Yeah, would have been good to go.
I'm just gonna skip over all that because I got so much stuff I could say within there.
I'm baiting Dante to a Todd McFarlane hate session.
Dom says Amazon Fresh kills me. Paperbacks is taped shut with no handles. They pile everything right against the door. I have to go out my basement to move all the bags first to clear the room.
Oh yeah, that's a frustrating move for sure. Put it right in front of the door.
Monsters
for Beyond said, I started with the Headless Horseman. I am Hope. Welcome to the clan.
Such a good figure. Such a good figure.
Yeah, I had it and I sold it because I got scared. I didn't even open it.
Don says, legions are dangerous when we got Dante to buy a moose. That is very true. Mike says, we had a tornado today a few streets down. Ooh, be safe, sir. Mike says, high five, good work, man. Don't be high fiving him. Don't high five nobody. Stop it. Damien says, could get a custom fig of Due South Mountie to go with that moose Dante. I don't need no Mounties. It's Spider-Man's moose. It's Spider Moose. If I put a mask over him, he'd be Spider Moose.
Ooh, I like that. I was just watching Across the Spider-Verse with my boys.
My man Pat Figs is back.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna say it. No. No. We're gonna talk about the turtle lair now.
Yeah, let's talk about it. I think it's gonna be the lead story on Toy Geeks this Sunday is the sewer lair for sure.
So I'll read this for Toy Art. NECA have activated pre-orders for their next TMT die-round piece, the cartoon-inspired sewer layer living room. The assembled piece measures 25 inches by 12.75 inches by 15 and will easily fit your turtles hanging out along with some of their friends or enemies. Retail is $299.99 USD with ship date of December 2023. In addition, with a new run of cartoon accessory set is available, which comes with a ton of items that work with the living room. Retail for that is $59.99 and also has a December ship date. Both are available now at the NECAstore.com. Hit the links below the standard time. Now, this is about as long as, was it the street dial they did? Because it sits on top of it.
Yep.
300 is asking a lot. I don't have the street dial, so I don't know how what the width is of it.
That was like a buck. That was like a $1.50, $1.25, $1.50, $1.60.
Yeah, and then they dropped down real quick too. Yeah,
it's expensive on the secondary market. I will say that, but original price wasn't 300.
I have to see if they can. I understand. With, I guess was it 12 inches? Was it 25? Was it length times width times height? So the width
square footage or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, because I always forget. So the width is like 12.75 inches. So you got 12 inches width.
So like if you're thinking your shelf, you need at least probably like 13 inches deep, right? To sit.
Yeah. I just don't know if they. So I'm assuming if they threw in these other accessories here. So if they
Which they
threw
don't,
in
you
these
got to buy that.
Right. Which would make sense to me. Like if you throw these in, that's when I could see it being $200.
Sure.
Even if you cut some of these out, like if you cut like the little mini turtles out, cut the robot out, and maybe threw in a backpack, the game controller, the albums or pictures, and like little accessory weapons and TV. Okay, that's $200. I can see that. But this being sold separately as a full pack, I'm just not sure.
And this is just for regular sale. This is not a crowdfunder or anything, correct?
Yep.
So I feel like maybe, I know that a lot of people are displeased with the price, but maybe there's something positive to be said that they did not go the crowdfunding route with it as well. You know,
sure.
like a lot of people get upset with that. So
if you can swing to 300, you can get it, kind of thing. No, I get that. I just think, I don't know. I don't know the economics of maybe to them it needs to be $300 for them to make a profit, and they're a business, they need to make money. So like whatever. Far be it from me to be like, this is a dumb business decision or something like that. I just think I don't know the audience that wants to spend $300 on what amounts to an okay appointed diorama without any of the additional, like by the time you put in the accessory pack plus shipping and everything, you're over $400.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money for a diorama when the van was $250 and the street dio, I guess people are saying it's $113 on Big Bad Toy Store right now. So I'm just confused on where this extra money cost comes into this thing.
Well, this is another good point too that I forgot. Downstairs, not to mention there's just going to be 3 of these. So there's 2 more pieces coming.
So if you want the whole thing, you're like $1,000.
Exactly.
It's a big ask. Exactly. Big ask.
Yeah. And when I was talking to AZ Toy Hunter about this, I said, like I said, this is assuming, and this is just my opinion. Just throw this out there. Assuming it's my opinion. Don't assume my opinion is right. I'm just guessing here. It's wild guessing. But I'm thinking they maybe watch other markets. So maybe like they watch like the Cat's Lair, and what Super 7 was doing with their stuff. And maybe thought, hey, we can ask 200 for this, and maybe people will, see that maybe will buy into it. Because if they're buying a Cat's Lair was for like $700, why can't we sell this for 200?
But they're asking 300, and it's not even.
Sorry, 300. Yes.
The Cat's Lair is it's like, I don't know, 10 of these things stacked up or something like that, and it's a full featured playset. It's not just a cutout of a diorama. There's like the other side of the walls don't feature anything.
Exactly.
And to me, I think that's where this one kind of seems price tone deaf or whatever, where you saw Super 7 actually say, we're not going to overcharge. We're going to charge $50 more than we charged for the Snake Mountain 3 or 4 years ago, to try and make sure we get as many purchases as possible. Versus this one, they'll still get purchases, but I don't think they're getting as many as it's that whole, like, would you rather sell 10,000 at $200 or 3,000 at $300. You know, like what's the math that works for you? And apparently they felt the $300 was the better. Maybe they just thought people weren't going to buy it, so they put a higher price tag on it.
Right. And that's what they're saying, like, and I think that's the thing. I mean, for Lair, you see the value in it. This for 300, it's like, what am I? If you were throwing those accessories in and not as a separate pack that I have to buy, I can give you probably a good argument. It's like, okay, I can understand why it's 300. You're getting a ton of accessories to add.
Sure, yeah, throw in the accessories, yeah.
The thing is, you're buying. If you gotta buy 2 more of these, what accessories are accessories gonna come with it? Like the full accessory pack, or is it just gonna be another $300 that you're paying out?
Yeah.
For just this piece as it is.
Yeah. It's tough. My only guess, like I'm trying to think of like a logical business decision. And it must be they've done the calculus that they maybe think there's not enough people that would want this thing. So they have a lower MOQ. Maybe they're going to make like 2,000 of them or something. So it has a higher cost to it versus a turtle van, which at the time we thought was a little pricey. They did it $250. Vehicles are way more expensive from a tooling perspective. Like to make them is a lot more expensive. But maybe in their mind, we knew we could sell a lot more of them. And maybe they only sold so many street dials and they went on clearance. They're like, okay, there's a much smaller audience for this. So we have to make less of them and it's going to have a higher price. But optically, as a toy collector, it's like, where this makes the Jurassic Park gate seem reasonable. And that was stupidly overpriced, you know?
Yeah. And I wasn't like a huge fan of that myself. I was like, ew. But it wasn't for me anyway, because that's for like everybody gets like the 3 3/4 inch figures. So that wasn't for me. So I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah. Definitely think that I think as what Jay says is pretty accurate. I think they're banking on the fact at this price, we'll have enough people that'll just do it. You know, there'll be debate. Obviously, they know there's hot debates all the time on ToyTube. You know, people talking about anything anymore, what's going to cost, what it's worth, all the value, everything else. So they know that's a conversation that takes place in the community. So you just have to feel like, you know, their marketers, their team got together and said, you know what, there are 2,000 people who we know will buy this, either no questions asked or they'll just need it so bad, right?
Yep. And that's the calculus they went with. Yeah, this is a great point by Greg.
So I agree with Greg a little bit on this. But the thing is, like, if you wanted to be multi-purpose, there's a lot of work you're going to put into this. Because it's more cartoony.
It is.
Than anything.
It is.
So for you to like use as a resistance base or anything like that, you're going to have to like take some of the cartooniness out of it to make it a little bit. Like, okay, this might work. This might be working in a real world if it is. And the crazy part is, like, I guess I shouldn't really compare the two, but for the big Turtles playset, I can go to Target and get it for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, $70.
Yeah, I'm just like, and you know, this is not something they can put on retail. There's no way they can put this on retail.
No, and I guess where it's a lower MOQ and so higher price, yada yada yada.
Charlie Square said, "I'll wait for ramen toys to be on the ground."
Like, honestly, I want to make a meme for the Sunday show. It's like, you know, that meme where it's the guy like behind the tree, like going like this. That's Ace right now. It's like,
Greg says, Dante, can you guesstimate how much it would cost to print these 4 walls and sewer pipe? If 3D print do it, the files are already free, so that's, I mean, those like, but basically everything here you see, you can probably print out for free.
And a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people's customs of these look really nice. Mine wouldn't, but I've seen people do it well.
I mean, altogether, if I was to 3D print this, if you didn't want to paint it or anything, and I just 3D print it, probably altogether it may be like $40 to $50.
Wow.
I mean, because basically you're just printing out 3 brick walls, the sewer pipe, and the holes. The sewer, I guess, entrances that's really it. Like, and the chairs, I mean, chairs and table are not that hard to print. The stop sign, somebody's already got. Exit sign as well. Everything else, you would just be like kind of making yourself. Like, I mean, yeah, all that, be like $40 or $50.
And Mike added in the chat earlier about how he made his own, basically his own dio. I think there's so many great people out there that make dioramas.
Yeah.
Carver Customs, good friend of the channel, that we're spoiled by their great work.
Yeah.
So you might be, if you're paying a third of this cost to get a personally made dio by somebody, it makes this look that much more jarring when you see that price tag attached.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, oh wow, so it is 15 inches. So you need
deep.
more than 15
Okay.
inches.
Okay.
Yeah, 15 inches deep. Man, that's a big play set.
Do you say
$300.
50 as in 50?
No,
Or 15.
15.
115.
I was gonna say 5.
Yeah.
What? Like, what are we complaining
That'd be a
about?
house.
50?
That would just be a home you live in.
Yeah. What?
Exactly.
Why are we complaining now? We're spoiled.
Yeah. So at this point, I'll be like, yeah, we'd be living in it. I'm like, yeah, I just got to put some doors up, put some. Probably got to put another wall here. You know.
Yeah, you know what? We're actually looking at houses right now. That might be the way I go. Is just buy this and live in it. To be honest, at this point, man.
But yeah, but then you see like kind of like everything like in there too. It's like, I don't know. To me, it's a hard sell. And then you look, and then you got this one too. So you got this other part that you're gonna be adding onto it.
Yeah.
That could fit the turtle van in there. Now, me and my craziness, I'm like, how they driving that turtle van out the field height? You know what I mean? Okay. But I mean, it looks, when you have everything set up, it looks great.
Yeah.
But the problem is, it's like, are you willing to spend $300 just to have a bare bones set, and then you gotta spend $60 to have the accessories to put in there?
Yeah. Yep.
There's just so. I was talking about this the other day. There's so many lines. There's so many TMNT figures to buy nowadays, whether it is Super 7, Playmates, NECA, whatever it might be. So I feel like as a turtle collector, I'm not one, but thinking of how they feel, they're spending so much money already on all the different lines. I don't know if this is kind of like asking too much. We're already putting out so much money, or is it I'm used to spending so much money because there's so much turtle stuff.
Yeah.
That I'm, you're desensitized to it. You're like, oh yeah, sure, whatever,
Yeah, I do think I think the NECA turtle line is incredible. It really is. It's there's just, if you've been slowly putting together over time, you have an incredible toy collection. And if you could set it up like this, it's gonna be absolutely stunning on a toy shelf. But it is an expensive thing to play. Like I don't know, one of the most recent waves of the Mirage stuff, I bought 3 figures and it was like $100. And I returned them because I was like, wait, what am I doing? There's a better way I could spend $100 right now. And so I do think there's a bit of a turtle tax here. And it gets really expensive.
Yep.
Well, what's crazy when I'm looking at this, the street dial is not even as deep as the Lair.
Yeah,
if you look
I think it's supposed to look like you have the street and then the levels or whatever.
But I'm like, so I'm curious now, because if this is sitting on top of it and this is 15, so we're saying like it's 15 inches, and then you put this on top and it's not even covering, barely covering it. Like,
yeah,
300 really, like, if this is 150, why couldn't this be 150?
Yeah, I agree.
I'm only getting what, maybe 3 or 4 more inches.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I agree.
What's it? Just see. Oh no, I just lost it now. Oh, here we go. Somebody next still say it can be 20 inches deep. It can be 20 inches deep. It's one level and 300 ain't justifiable. That's a damn car payment for the basement floor. Yeah.
Tell me, that's a pretty cheap car payment these days.
Yeah.
Flash is not sure about everyone else. 3 of these are huge. I have no room for one, let alone three.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we start building them out. Yeah, you're doing some building. Dom says that's the same dial, just without the
Yeah.
accessories in it. They were just showing up different display options. Yeah. Oh, it's the same. Oh, look. So what Ed had a turtle van was the same dial.
Yeah.
You got me.
Yep.
Was
They're
it?
just setting up in different ways. Yeah.
Oh wow.
But they're making a kitchen one and like Donnie's lab. I think those are the other two that they're going to
Yeah.
make.
Yeah, I do remember seeing that. But yeah, this is.
You know, again, like
It,
if I was a diehard Toon Turtle guy and I had, you know, all the figures so far and I had the Street Dio, I'd have to just, you know, bite the bullet and get the thing. I wouldn't be happy, but that's just what it is. But for everybody else, I just don't see. You're not getting casuals with this, I guess, is my point.
Well, I think the best way to put it, just to rephrase what you said, is, are there two? Well, again, we're throwing out numbers we don't know, but if they went, if their calculus was what you suggested, are there 2,000 people that fit that mold?
Yeah,
that are completionists.
Yeah,
if that's what they did, then I'd say yeah, there's 2,000 people that would do that. But again, using fictitious numbers, we don't know.
Sure.
But,
yeah.
And it's great. And the other thing you think about too is crazy how much turtle stuff is out there now.
Oh yeah.
Like it's with the movie, it's exploded. So you have the movie, the new movie, you have the original movie ones, you have the regular turtles, you have the Playmate turtles, you have Little Subjects turtles, you have NECA's turtles, like, and you have Super Sevens turtles. Like everybody's got turtles. Like you have a plethora of options for turtles. So it's not like, oh, I'm gonna miss out on these if I don't get them. You have so many options because somebody's gonna come out with them again.
Yeah,
like you won't miss anything. Scruffy Nerd does bring up a good point. He says, how much was High School Creations Dio Kickstarter again? Cheaper than this, and you can build 20 walls. You can, for $300 you're paying. You can, I think, with Mike's Kickstarter, you could have got maybe, I want to say, a good 20 or 30 walls, I want to say, and built your whole Turtles layer out of that, and been good.
Yep.
So this is wild. This is a wild ride. I'm really waiting to see what's going to happen with this.
Well, the thing is, like, I think what's interesting, or at least from what I do like about, I mean, I don't have a problem with the crowd funds, but a part that I like about it is the visibility of its success or failure, right? Like it is public, and you see in real time whether the public likes it or doesn't like it, right? And in this case, it's not a backer, so we won't know how successful or unsuccessful this thing is. It's just, we are like, it's too pricey for me, but NECA are like, well, we sold so and so many, and everybody got bonuses this year or whatever. I don't know, but like,
exactly,
we just won't know. We won't know how successful or unsuccessful this thing is.
Which again, as you mentioned, is a positive for them in that they save face. They're not going to have to, take that walk of shame with the bell in the background. You know?
Sure. Yeah.
So that kind of brings you up to the question too. Like, let's say Hasbro did this with whatever, like instead of doing a HasLab, they're like, hey, we're putting this on Hasbro Pulse. This is how much it's going to be. This is what you get with it.
And they've done that. The Jabba's a throne room.
Right.
So that was $250, I think, and I think it's about the same size as this. And yeah, it wasn't a HasLab. It was just like order it and we'll make it eventually and send it to you.
So I guess we do know it can work because we've seen it work with the cast layer.
Sure.
And that was 700, and they were like, hey, bam. And again, I'm guessing, I'm assuming, I'm just throwing things out here as the guesses and opinions. I wonder if it could work under the Hasbro umbrella with something like that. You know, they say, hey, you know, since the Engine of Vengeance didn't back, we can give it to you as a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, but you know, how many ever we orders we get, we can make it at that point.
Yeah. I'd be curious. You know, they probably won't, just to, you know, it would probably set a bad precedent, you know, for them. But if you look at it like, the ramen racer looks nice, but it's still $250. Like if you didn't get an early back or whatever, it's still not cheap. It's cheaper than the Inventions was going to be, but and so I think, I don't think they would personally, but I don't work there. I could ask.
I completely agree. I feel like that, as you mentioned, setting precedent. That's essentially telling fans, you don't need to back it. We'll still give it to you later. Or even the included figures, Mephisto, if they were turned around and made Mephisto a deluxe figure within 8 months, it would have completely lessened the stretch goals. Now, Dante, what you just put on that screen had me all pumped up this week, pal.
So I'm not gonna lie to you. I was able to order 6 of these. Don't know why. But I love me some army building. It's not like I didn't have enough Hydra and Shield shoulders. Now I gotta figure out where I'm gonna put the rest of these cats at.
Space danger.
Well, the thing was, I didn't know. So I ordered 3, the initial 3 yesterday. So I was like, all right, cool. I got 3. I was like, let me see if I'll go back on the site and it'll let me order more. They actually did. Which is wild because they were still up. Now, if you're still in the market for looking for AIM soldiers, and I think it was ninjas, you can go on AliExpress and they have them on there.
Oh,
yes, they're sold out of the Shield 2-packs and they're sold out of scrolls on AliExpress. But you can get the other ones, the other army builders that you need on there as well. So
these are still available right now, which shocked the heck out of me because I'm not a Pulse member because I'm cheap. So like literally, 2 o'clock hits and I'm like logged in already because I'm expecting it to be like one of those 20 minutes and gone things. So they must have really pumped a lot of these out. And on top of that, it says shipping by September 15th. So they're actually already in stock over in England, I believe. They said on Dan Who's live stream.
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah, they're ready to roll. I love when I can order something and it gets here like quickly. It's not like a year-long process.
Yeah.
We're still like so conditioned from the pandemic era. Like you may get it in 3 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I'll watch Canada get it first.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'll go on CMD store and be like, let me go ahead and order that. But these look good. You got, optional hands, heads. Like you can't go wrong. There's so many options with them, just like they did with the Shield 2-pack. They gave you options. Now you have it with your Hydra and female Hydra and female Shield soldiers.
Right there is what my easy buy was. That female Hydra soldier with the mask. Yeah. I know people are saying like, was there ever a female Hydra soldier in the comics? I don't care. It looks awesome.
Exactly.
It looks freaking awesome. Obviously the head sculpts look great too, but
it's canon now. I don't care.
Exactly.
Joe's pumping out G.I. Joe Classifieds, making classifieds that were never a thing. They're just being inventive, and this completely scratches that itch for me. Dante mentioned, I'm looking at my old Toys R Us 2-packs over here on display. A couple of these on the shelf look great with it.
Yeah. Yep.
And now the only thing is, and I've seen Book had seen the questions I did. The Shield Soldier only comes with 2 sets of hands. The Hydra Trooper comes with 3 sets of hands. It's really weird. That's a weird dynamic.
The Hydra comes with fists and the Shield doesn't, right? Looks like.
Well, the Shield only comes with 1 fist.
Oh, like a fist and a trigger finger then. Oh, okay. Only 1 open hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
And 1 open hand.
Okay.
But
interesting.
It's just weird. That weird dynamic.
Yeah.
But I'm still on it. I'm still on it.
Nice.
Well, nice. And another nice touch too is looking at the Maria Hill and Quake, which is the same body, I presume. They actually had the skin tone on the neck, and for these, they always have the blue there, so you could really put any facial compression or Rape's character on there you want to, and you're not going to have it thrown off by the color of the neck, which is cool.
Yeah, that does make it work. well, I know what I'm gonna do with my Black. I'm gonna be switching his Black Widow. Like, yeah, surprise, me, Nick Fury.
Well, and these were and Jay, I do toy hunts primarily for my channel. That's kind of my thing. And with that, we make jokes. This is the summer of Ollie's 2023 because Ollie's Bargain Store is getting in so much stuff.
I know.
And these have been showing up by the case.
That's awesome.
So I mean, they're I guess $9.99. So I had to pick up more of these because obviously we'll get more now with the 2-pack. But the advantage is you're not going to have the skin tone on the neck, so you're getting something different.
I need to get to Ollie's more. There's a couple Ollie's here, and I don't go there enough. I should go there more.
It's it was never like this. It was never maybe twice a year, Christmas and maybe in the summer.
Yeah.
The last, what do you say, Dante? 3-4 months. Every week it seems like crazy stuff showing up at Ollie's. You'd never expect to see there.
Flash says, are these bodies part of the selfie series? I don't know.
I don't think so. Because I did the 2.0 version at Comic-Con, and I don't remember seeing them.
I don't think the female troopers are part of the selfie series. I don't think any of the Shield agents are part.
But couldn't you swap the head with one anyway if you wanted to?
Yeah, you can swap the head with it. I don't think they offer it as like a full figure for it. You know what? Don did bring a good point. Like, I understand you have the female blackhead, but if I'm gonna put down my Hydra Trooper, can I get that? Can I get this black as well too? Yeah, I mean, under mask. I'm asking for a friend. I mean, it would make sense. Like, if you did that, like, if they did like swappable faces, like magnet, like kind of like some magnets in here, that'd be great. You just swap them out with a little mouthpiece out. That'd be awesome.
Oh yeah, they've never done something like that on Legends, have they?
No. That'd be great. You'd be like, hey, I don't want this. I don't want the face on. I want this other face on. Because it would make sense if they're unmasked and like, okay, it's her face. All right, that makes sense.
Yep.
Or it's her face. That makes sense. That's just one face. This is going to be her. That's it. I'm like, hey.
It's true.
Actually, it's not even going to be her because I don't think she has that red, like the red on her either. Yeah, see, she doesn't have that red lip. So
she put the lipstick on when she puts the mask on. It's part of the setup or something.
Yeah, smeared on.
I think the big question too is the green going to match up perfectly with the original male Hydra troopers or not, or is it going to be more like Bob's color?
So I think it's going to be with the new green Hydra. I don't think it's going to. Let me see. I'm trying to see because I can trying to see my arm photos from here. No, I think this might be the new one. Yeah, I think this might be the new green.
Okay.
I don't think this go with the old green.
Or at least close enough that you can fudge it. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but you don't have to be like eye-poppingly brighter color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They got me for 2. I did 2.
Yeah, they got me for 6. And last thing we'll go over here is the Star Wars Ghost. That's 500. They're doing the HasLab for. That's great.
I backed day one. I'm super pumped for this one. Love Rebels. Can't wait for Ahsoka. And I know we're about near unlocking fudge. I'm not gonna his name. The kid's name. The gosh.
Shoot, hold on. Let me see.
Yeah, he's a carded figure. Ezra, good lord. Yeah, Ezra's. I think we're like a couple hundred away from Ezra.
Okay.
And then, I think we'll get a bump on this once we see the ghost in Ahsoka. And seeing this, or at least the prototype of this or whatever at Comic-Con, it's a stunning ship.
What's funny is here, this looks like it's 3D printed right here. So see like these ridge lines.
It probably was. I mean, whatever their prototype when they showed at Comic-Con.
That's some quick. They just like go ahead and paint it up.
Probably.
Paint on it.
Like the thing was so I think what I love is it's a big ship. It's like it's multi-level, unlike the Millennium Falcon, and I think they captured that aspect of it really well.
Yeah, it
Like
looks
it's their
good.
home, you know.
I just wish I was in the. If I was in the vintage, I'd be all over this.
Yeah, so that's where I just like for me, I gave up Black Series, so I'm only TVC for Star Wars, so
Hmm.
I'm in on this one.
I'm very selective in Black Series. That's it. Like certain Black Series figures, I will buy.
I think
But it
we all
looks
have that kind
nice.
of frustration with Star Wars in general. It's just like there's just so many characters, and
Yeah.
we're getting kind of the same. I don't know, 4 or 5, or we're just like we're not taking 2 years to get one from the latest TV show or something.
And the articulation as well. I always say,
Yeah.
primarily being a Legends and classified collector for the most part, that I'm jealous they get so many soft goods with Black Series.
Mm-hmm.
However, obviously you're getting very standard articulation, which
Yeah.
you can't hold the candle to when it comes to the other stuff it has.
Oh yeah, it's like Legends and Classified are light years above what Black Series is getting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
and
yeah.
even Power Rangers too, to throw them in there. You know,
Yeah.
they're
Oh,
all
yeah.
just so much better articulation. So
Yep.
I often say I feel bad for Black Series collectors. I only ever had maybe like 10 to 15 or so, mostly Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
And I've slowly sold mine off. Just kind of back to your Mythic Legions theory. If I get it back to 0.0, then I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to be tempted to buy any more because I know I don't have any. So
Yeah, that's true. And that's that. I kind of got to that point with Black Series, like, yeah, but I love the ships and stuff, right? It's why I think we all fell in love with, if we're Star Wars fans, why we fell in love with it was the ships and the play sets and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I'm just going back to TVC. That's gonna be my place, and I'll be happy, and I am happy.
So this looks great. I mean, have for the TVC fans who are getting this. It's a great set piece. It's next to your blown up Mandalorian ship.
I know, right?
Yeah.
that was still so
But
funny.
and the benefit here is even if they blow up the ghost in Ahsoka, even though I don't think it's gonna happen because it showed up in Rise of Skywalker, it was like in that scene with all the ships or whatever. But even if they did, the ghost has so much history in Rebels, like it doesn't need to be featured in, I don't know, beyond this season of Ahsoka or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, that's it, folks. We had a fun, entertaining show tonight. Thank you, Jay, for hanging with us and coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It's an honor and a privilege to join you, gentlemen, tonight.
And I'm very happy that you came out victorious in your court debut. So again, to all the viewers, if you're just popping on near the end here, if you have a Hulu, go jump on Hulu, go type in the Judge Steve Harvey show and enjoy the episode, because I thought it was wonderful. And I think it's very cool that you and Craig were able to kind of get the toy community out there a little bit more to the general population too. So
yeah, some of the people that were upset were like, oh, now it's going to set toy collecting back because they're going to make fun of you or whatever. And I hope people watching it realize it wasn't. It was. I don't know. Hopefully, people like, I know spouses felt hurt. I know toy collectors felt hurt in different ways. Like it was fun.
Yeah, you heard many cries on Facebook. Yeah, I know a guy like that who burned me trying to buy them figures and didn't send me nothing. I know a guy like that too. That's what you heard, the cries of Facebook. Everybody who got burnt on a deal on Facebook. Like,
that's why, Facebook deals. Whew, yeah, it's gotta be careful.
Yeah, and if anything else, we got to bring a full circle to our earlier conversation, where there's that person out there that even with the internet now might want to get back to collecting.
Yeah.
And they're scared to because they feel like there's a stigma or whatever. Sure. It's cool. Like the nerds won, man. We won. Like, so if even one person out there catches that and says, oh, this is okay to do this again. Like these guys look normal. They're willing to be fun about it and not be all super serious. Yeah. Then that's one more person that we should be happy finds the hobby.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think, and it's kind of cool. I will say, just getting going from being a kid toy collector and growing up in the era where nerds weren't cool or geeks weren't cool. And then, being now of the era where nerd culture is the center of the cultural zeitgeist for everything. Like, it's neat. It's pretty cool. It's it's a ton of fun, and to have a community of that is special. So, yeah.
Jay, where can they find you at? I'm sure most people already know you here, but where can they find you?
Yeah, GeekDadLife. So on YouTube, GeekDadLife, GeekDadLife 2. I'll be doing the like post Steve Harvey thing. That's like where I do like my TV show talk stuff. So that'll be tomorrow. Toy Geeks will be on Sunday. Toy Connections will be subbing in for John this Sunday. So tune in 2 days from now. I think the lead topic is probably going to be the sewer lair, because that's the hot topic this week in the toy world. And then tune in there.
Awesome. So real quick, next week there will be no show.
What?
I'm on vacation. Yeah, it's me and the wife's anniversary. So
congratulations. That's gonna be great.
Thank you. So we're heading out to Gambling State.
Oh,
Las Vegas. Yeah.
Very nice. You going to any good shows? Doing the Beatles Love or something like that?
We're doing a Michael Jackson show.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Nice. Michael Jackson experience. So that's our anniversary dinner night. So.
Nice.
Actually, it is the date of our anniversary, I should say.
Oh, very nice. Congrats. Do you tell us how many years, or is that like a secret?
Oh, no, it's 2. It's 2 years.
That's awesome. Congratulations. 2 years.
Happy anniversary to the queen of the Infinity Equation podcast.
And another anniversary as well to Mr. Tim and A-Tiz.
Yes. She still puts up with me, and thankfully she's not the wife that is tripping over the toys and complaining about it.
Mine is like she says all the time, is like, how many toys do you need to be buying to review on your channel? I'm like, that's for the channel, I swear. I promise. But
I know if I say I need more cryopods. Got money for next week? Yeah, we got money for next week. Don't worry.
As soon as this Sentinel sells, we have the money for the Michael Jackson tickets, right?
There you go.
Congrats to your parents. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. Jason Rice says, "Oh, Geek Dad and Disavow together. Hello from Berks County, PA." Berks
County. Now you're talking.
Try not to lose all your super chat money. No, none of the super chat money is going towards this. All that's going towards the Maui charity. So all that.
That's awesome.
Anything you super chat from last week's show and this week's show, and like I said, I'll be donating some of my money into it. All that's going to Maui for Jiu-Jitsu show. Put the money in for them.
That's awesome.
Mike, happy birthday, sir. In about 2 hours, I guess.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday, Mike. Yeah.
Happy birthday. If you want to check out the the hibernation pod review, it is up. And then tomorrow I'll be releasing my New Jersey Collectors Con haul video. I'm trying to do more of these videos. I'm not good at it.
It's hard. It's a lot of work.
Dante, I'm going to get you to do a toy hunt at RetroCon this year for the channel.
Ooh.
I don't know if I'm gonna be at RetroCon.
Which one's RetroCon? Is that the?
That is coming up September 9th, I believe, and that's in Oaks, PA. It is.
Yeah, I hear that's a really good one. I've never
phenomenal.
been.
But... A lot of people show out to it. I met Dan Larson there a couple of years ago.
Nice.
He was chilling there. He came down. I guess it's from like Massachusetts area or something.
Yep.
But yeah,
New Hampshire,
very New Hampshire, very large show. Literally, my eyes popped the first time I walked in a few years ago.
Yeah.
And then while we're throwing out events, don't forget Legion's Con coming up in November. So 2 huge shows, and everybody seems to be going to Legion Con this year, from what I've heard. I heard even Jay's going to go and buy a whole bunch of figures in a wagon.
He's like, I'm conned out.
I want to try to do Toy Fair maybe in NYCC, but as of now, I'm just going to take a break.
I think
it's well deserved at this point too.
When is Toy Fair this year? Is it September?
Last weekend in September.
See if I can slide in there somehow.
Also, for anybody local to the Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania, Jersey, whatever. If you're not going to RetroCon for whatever reason it might be, there is another local show put on by VR Hobbies in Easton, Pennsylvania, Palmer, PA. Great show every year that he does. Unfortunately, it's the same day as RetroCon this year. But if you want to take your kids out, if you're local to this area, that's a great option. If you're an old wrestling fan, Jimmy Hart's going to be there. JJ Dillon's going to be there for the Four Horsemen. So if you're local, you don't want to go to Oaks, go check out that. I'm going to try to do both and then feel a little bit like Jay afterwards and not want to see the light of day for a couple of days.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, don't forget. Yeah, Jason.
Oh, ZoloCon. Yeah.
When is Zolo?
Yes. I think that's in September too.
Is it?
Jeez.
Yeah. Is that the small one they're doing? And they're doing a smaller show. I can't think of the name of the town. Somewhere. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's like a Halloween.
Yeah, see, so that's why I said September's not good because I know me and Art are supposed to go up to the Bandai store when that opens up. Because it was supposedly they were saying like this, like it was like this coming this summer, but I said watch it be like when I'm on vacation. And so now it's like it looks like it may be September. So I know we'll probably roll up there for that. So
nice.
September's gonna be busy. Yeah, between September to November, it's a busy time because you got New York Comic Con.
And you got Christmas right after that. So really,
exactly.
How did I botch this? ZoloCon is September 1st.
Oh,
yo, see,
I completely botched this. I had no friggin' idea. Oh my god, I'm gonna be broke this month.
Yeah. Look, September's my recoup month right now. So like this vacation in September, I get to recoup a little bit, and then October's New York Comic Con, and then it's Legion's Con. Legion's Con where I'm gonna go ham. You want to see me come up with all these Cosmic Legions? You go actually, you know what? The best way I could put it is remember if you ever seen Tropic Thunder, and remember Robert Downey Jr. got that's controversial surgery, and he's in that wheelchair. That's gonna be me with my Cosmic Legions like coming out there like, yeah. People with a little cigarette dinging out of my mouth. Yeah. Legions! Come on! Oh, no, that's all I got. Tim, got anything?
Nothing. If you're listening on the old podcast territory, you couldn't see the screen. Disavowed_12 over at Instagram. Disavowed Action Figures on YouTube. Twice a week toy hunts. I dabble with some other live streams as well, but please check me out over there if you would be so kind.
All right, folks. You have a great and safe weekend. Have a great and safe next week. I will be back. I think it's what's that? The second weekend of September, first weekend.
I think it's like the first week, like the first
Labor Day weekend, I think.
Yeah, like that Friday.
Yeah.
I think it's the first, right? I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be the first. Yeah, it'd be the first.
It'd be Zolo World.
Yeah. We'll do the show live from ZoloCon.
No. It might be the 8th we come back. I'm sure.
Yeah. But then it's RetroCon.
Maybe.
We're all gonna have the con crud be coughing, sneezing, hitting the mute button constantly.
Thank God I did not get something from these past two cons. So.
Oh man. I don't know how you did it.
I got COVID from Spielwarenmesse. I got COVID from that one, but did not get sick from these. At least I would have gotten sick. I would have felt it by this point for PowerCon, right? So I made it through 2 in a row.
Folks, we'll see you. Have a great morning. Have a great afternoon. Have a great evening. Talk to you later.
And good night.